morning, good evening, good afternoon. I got the turban every day. Anyway, welcome. My name is Infamous Kiki. I watch Love After Lockup and Love During Lockup live. Um and every week, usually I try to watch it on a Saturday or a Sunday, just depends on when I can get around to it. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment in the comments below. I know most of you guys are gonna watch it on a rewatch, so just let me know what did you think about this episode. Make sure you thumbs up the video. I would, like I said, I'd really like to know what you guys thought. Last week I did not like last week's episode, y'all. Let me say Happy Mother's Day. If you're in America, Happy Mother's Day. I'm a mother. Happy Mother's Day. I'm a mom, and so today is Mother's Day. I'm trying to get these videos out the way before I get to go take my kids out and do stuff that they want to do for Mother's Day. Yeah. Um it's supposed to be about me, but it's not. Hey Tiffany, good morning. Happy Mother's Day, Tiffany. I know you're a mommy. And yeah, I'm supposed to go do things today, but I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm taking my kids to a skate park, and I think we're going to a Korean place to eat Korean chicken because that I like. I actually get to break my diet today, so and then I also have to say everybody that I don't know what y'all think about this season, but I don't know. So far, this season has just been very wah wah. Like, well, we're gonna hurry up and get into it. What do y'all think about this season? To me, it's boring. Ayana will forever be a side chick. Okay, well, thanks, Tiffany, for setting the pace of the episode. We're starting out with Ayana and Jamal. That's what we starting out with. Ayana will be a lot of things. Side chick, stripper, negligent mama. I don't know. A lot of Ayana got a lot of things going on. So here she is with her kids, her precious babies, and her brother. Oh, her brother's cute. Oh my, her brother is very good looking. Her brother's cute. Her brother Jalik. Look at the kids in the background. Is that baby drinking a Sprite? Child, y'all know. Okay, please don't. I'm just gonna keep going. Please don't tell me. So Yana's in the car with her brother talking. Please don't tell me that baby's in the back drinking a Sprite. This episode is rated D for depressing and disappointing, according to Tiffany. I hope that baby's not in the back drinking a Sprite. I just, I'm not gonna get distracted, y'all. And I got another video to do, another live video after this. So that baby is drinking a Sprite. Just, I'm not gonna do it today. I'm not. Y'all not gonna drag me into the dungeon. I don't know if she's drink. I'm just gonna say she's drinking a bottle of water. Okay, so Ayana is talking to Jamal's sister. Ayana, like let me put it on pause. So Ayana's talking to the guy who her prison booze sister. The obsession that these women have, like I said, there to me, there is when I talk about online scammers, to me there's a through line between these type of women on these shows, 90 Day and Love After Lockup, and the same people that get scammed. To me, these are all the same people. These are the same people with the same mentality that get scammed. So I see parallels in the way they act and the way they talk. It's to me, it's the same thing. Women who date people in other countries that never see them. Women who date men in prison that they don't interact with and met, and women who talk to scammers online that they've never met or video chatted with. Men and women, all of these are the same people, y'all. These are the same people. The same mentality, the way they act is just the same. These people are gullible. They gullible. Like I see the same patterns of behavior. And then they're obsessed with getting married. I don't understand. Like, are we gonna get married? 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 The married man. I don't understand these people's obsession with being a wife. I don't know. I don't. Maybe it's how these people were raised. I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know. I don't know. Her brother's cute though, and so she's talking to. Wow, we just cussing around the kids. Just wow, 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 wow. We just cussing around. Is this how other people live? But this is how other people live their lives. I don't cuss around my children. Or put my phone on speakerphone when I'm talking to somebody I'm dating or seeing. My kids don't know anything about that. That's grown folks' business. Why you got the kids in the back talking about you being 2 years in prison, having your kids involved in grown folks' business? Your kids listening. I believe a child should stay in a child's place. When I was a kid, I wasn't privy to grown folks' conversations. My grandmother be like, get out the room. Or no, we'll talk about this later. Baby, grandmama on the phone. I had to leave the room when my grandmother was talking to anybody. Maybe that's just how I was raised, but I wasn't allowed to be in grown folks' conversations. The young people these days, let me put it on pause. They got their kids on speakerphone. They talking, and I understand this is the show, so she got to put them on speakerphone so we'll hear it for the show. I get that, so I'll give her some pass for that. But this is just young. I've seen the younger generation do this, period. Not just on this show, but period. Again, I believe a child should stay in the child's place. When I'm talking on my phone to my homegirls and my sister-in-law, my kids are not just sitting right there while I got her on speaker. Like, we talking about grown people stuff. So I either need to go to another room. They go to another room. They're not privy to hearing the conversations I'm having with other adults. Even when it comes to work, like I don't like putting my kids on speakerphone when it comes to me working. Because to me, work is work. Work is a grown folks conversation that I'm having. We're grown people about work stuff. Not that my kids care, they don't. But the fact that you on the phone with somebody and this man's cussing and this man's talking about stuff, wow, Jesus. I mean, I can't. I can't. Like this, I be up here sweating, y'all. I be up here sweating, y'all. Like these kids, like, and the little boy, like he's 9 years old, so he's young enough to understand what the conversation in the back. Okay, we getting to Andrew and Candace, this hot ass mess. If y'all learned anything about, y'all seen Gio Malik's video, according to Amber, about Andrew and Candace, then y'all already know. If you don't know, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But if you know, you know what's going on with Candace and Andrew. And Andrew's 40, Candace is still in jail. He didn't got an apartment for her. He didn't got a truck. He didn't got an iPhone. He didn't got, I don't know, a plot of land. I don't know. Andrew didn't bought almost furniture. He didn't took out loans. He didn't max out credit cards. Andrew's the king of simping. He's the king simp. And I hate that word, by the way, y'all. I hate that word simp. I might but I hate that word because people use it to describe like regular men doing nice things for their women. Like, oh, you simping. Okay, I have a wife. But I didn't watch the Geo video about. They said they're exposing Andrew, saying I didn't watch that. I haven't watched it yet because I didn't want to spoil myself for this episode. But I'll go back and watch Geo's episode talking about Andrew being exposed. So I don't know what that even means. That's a nice. It's a cute apartment. All he pays is $13.60 a month. What city he living in where an apartment like that is $13.60? Where is that at? Wait, where is that at? Let me rewind. Where is he at? Where they at? Hold on. I like how TLC is messing. They put it up and said Andrew's apartment. Oh, in New Jersey? I brought some furniture with me, and then I bought. I swear to God, I wish I had a man that would get me a furniture for my house. Like I was married and didn't have that. I mean, damn, my husband went out like, babe, I'm finna go buy all this furniture. Like I got a couch, I got a microwave, and maybe a washer and dryer that my husband helped buy for. But my husband was not like, I'm finna buy all this, finna max out my credit cards And we both lived there. I mean, it wasn't like, I mean, or when I was dating, my husband wasn't like, oh, you know, I'm finna get you an apartment. Like, what?
Mentor, mother figure, best friend.
Okay, so they have a, so Candace's mentor, mother figure, a best friend showed up. So anyway, Candace's partner in crime.
They met in prison, and then when I've gone to visit.
Oh, Candace's friend, they met in prison, so that's her best friend. Child.
So I was thinking here, like.
That's a nice apartment though. I mean, in Texas, that apartment would be about $2,000 a month, at least in Texas. Depending on the neighborhood though. I'd have to see the hood they living in. So Candace finna get all this. Like I said, I'm trying not to spoil it for y'all. I'm just up here cracking up laughing that he went and got furniture and got all this stuff.
I think Andrew would do anything for her. He's never going to tell her no. In her ad, she said she was looking for a knight in shining armor. She found it.
She talking about in her ad, she was looking for a knight in shining armor.
Hello?
She got a simp in shining armor. So Candace is calling Andrew.
Hello? Hello? He has me unwrapping your stuff while he's on the phone with you. He said he needs to do the work.
So he didn't buy, I can't. This is crazy. He didn't buy furniture. He didn't buy, what? Why? So Candace calls like, you guys are having fun? What's up?
Okay. Yeah.
Shanta get upset that True sent her pictures back.
But man, he's sprung. He's gonna give you everything you want.
She telling her friend in the bathroom. No, I told you the friend was dirty. Candace's friend is in the bathroom talking about, yeah, girl, he sprung. He gonna do anything for you. Like, you know what? I salute, because that's a real friend. Because that would be me. I would be that friend in the bathroom to my girl. I mean, really, like she's like, he sprung. He gonna do anything for you, girl. Da, 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 da. Like that's a real friend. Hats off to you, girl. Because that's what I would do. I'd go to the bathroom and just talk mad-ish.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
How you gonna be this excited over somebody you've never met before? Candace says, I don't know. I don't want to leave Nevada until I have custody of her son. But he has everything ready for her, like apartment, the truck. Yeah, everything. She said, my life is in his hands. This was Candace. Candace is married to somebody else. Child, yes. She says she's excited. She can't wait to get up, driving the truck, seeing the apartment. That's all she's talking about is the truck and the apartment. That's all she's talking about. She ain't talking about Andrew. She ain't talking about how we gonna be together. Baby Candace is like, I'm trying to get my truck. I'm trying to get my iPhone 13. I'm trying to get, you know, she trying to talk about your apartment in Bronx is $1,350. Really? Child, the apartments here, maybe because of where I live. I don't know. Around my area, like an apartment, it depends on how big it is. Like a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment here is maybe like $1,700. But then again, it could just be there. There are parts of Dallas you can live a lot cheaper, but where I live, I don't live in Dallas. I live in the suburbs. But it's kind of expensive right here. Like I was looking for a 3-bedroom. I was trying to see what kind of 3-bedroom condos they have out here, and they were like more than my mortgage. They was like $2,600 a month. I was like, baby, I'll be damned. I'm paying $2,600 a month for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,400 square feet condo just because it's out in this area. Okay, so we go to Independence, Missouri to Shanta. I'm looking at these pictures. Why he send the pictures back, girl? Why he send the pictures? So it's 3 weeks into True's release.
About me today, he definitely lets me know. I'm definitely trying to figure out like what's going on. I'm confused. This is the first time I've ever been sent back and rejected by prison. I'm kind of lost on what's going on.
So did the prison send the pictures back, or True sent the pictures back? Because none of her pictures look like anything that the jail. They're not explicit, so I can't see the prison sending them back because they there's nothing wrong with them. Because a lot of times that the pictures are explicit, they'll send them back, but they're.
Where? No, because it's not showing like a nipple or anything.
Yeah, like none of those pictures.
So now I'm just like,
none of those pictures are bad.
what the heck? Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna call him.
So she's calling True.
I got some pictures returned to me, and I was trying to find out the reason why.
So she's calling Shanta's calling the prison trying to figure out when they get returned. Explicit no nudity or contraband. There's no nudity in those photos. Or if the loved one is in solitary. So he's not in solitary. Okay, he's not in solitary. None of those pictures are explicit. And if one of the pictures are explicit, they just take the picture out and just throw it away. But none of those pictures, one of them was with her and her kids. So she's going to wait for him to call, y'all. Because them pictures weren't nothing bad. Tiffany, don't do it. Did he send the pictures back, Tiffany?
Relationship history. So I just think she looks for love in the wrong places. She do too much for the person, and they don't be reciprocated.
How old is the daughter? Because the daughter, okay, Shanta's there with her daughter, and her daughter's like saying that she thinks her mom does too much, that she does too much in a relationship for the person. And the daughter says she doesn't trust True. So how old is this daughter?
I don't even know.
Wow. The day I would be sitting on the couch talking to my teenage daughter about my relationship, please just back a dump truck up to my house and bury me in concrete. Bury me in effing concrete. Do y'all hear me? The day I will sit up here and talk to my son or my daughter about my relationship, back a truck up here, just beep, beep, open my door, tell my, hey, Miss Kiki, come here, stand next to the door, back the damn truck up, and bury my ass in concrete. Because the day I would never in my entire life as a parent sit up here and talk to my teenage kids about my relationship. Never. Nope. I barely now to the point my kids are 10 and 14 that I talk to them about my marriage, but not anything crazy, but just they ask questions like, how did y'all meet and what happened? And like little anecdotal things like that. But I would never in my life sit here and talk to my child about my relationship like I'm talking to one of my homegirls about my relationship. People lost their everlasting effing mind. Like people are lost. People are crazy. Why would I talk to, I guess her daughter, she looks like a teenager. She looks like she's maybe 15, 16. I have a 14-year-old son. Do you think I'm sitting up here telling him stuff about my relationship? About me and my ex broke up and me and my ex, we see each other, and they don't know anything about that. Because again, they're children. Happy Mother's Day. I can't even concentrate to knowing that these people are up here talking to their kids like they grown. And y'all wonder why y'all kids is out here twerking and dating and doing all kinds of things that they shouldn't be doing with boys and girls. Like, why would I be talking to my kids about my relationship? Why? Why would I sit there and have this conversation? Sit my child down and have a conversation. I am blown. Every time I watch these shows, I'm blown away by the boundaries that are crossed as to me as a parent. Like, to me, I have boundaries. Like, my private life is my private life. Like, my things that I do in dating is what I do. What I do at work, unless it's something crazy or something that interferes with my children, like my scheduling, it's what I do at work. I don't really tell my kids like, okay, this is what mommy's doing at work today and blah, 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 blah. I mean, they're kids and they don't care. And then to talk to someone about your relationship and you grown and having your kids come back and say, I think my mom does too much and da-da-da-da. Psychologically, that's confusing for a child. Do y'all not understand that for a child, that they see their parents go through these relationships, that sometimes they end up going totally against it, or sometimes they end up repeating the same patterns as their parents? I would never want my kids to go through the things that I've gone through in my relationships. I had a good marriage. Yes, I talk about my marriage because it was good. It was something positive. But the things that I've experienced in other relationships, my kids are not as of the age to really comprehend because I mean they're 14 and 10. So they kind of get it, but then kind of don't. So idea I'm telling them about my current relationship. Now, I may talk to my kids and be like, this is what not to do and what to do in a relationship. But the idea I'm sitting there having a conversation with especially my daughter, that just crazy to me. I would never. I would never. I mean, the daughter is a teenager. Yeah, my son's a teen. My son's 14. We don't have any. I don't sit my son and be like, you know what? I think I'm re-seeing Mark again, and I think we're gonna really get together. Like, why would I talk to my kid about that? He's 14. First of all, he'd be looking at me like, Mom, why are you telling me this? I don't give a shit. Second of all, he's 14. Why would I be like, hey, let me have I just firmly believe that a child should stay in a child's place. That there are certain things that as they get older. Now, if my kid was in his 20s, we would have that conversation. Yeah, some people need to know your kids are not your friends. They're not. Some people are just talking to their kids like at a young age. I know people that sit there and tell their kids about their romance and their relationships. Oh, and mommy went on a date with this person and they really liked it. And the kid to be 9 years old. And I'm just like, why would you tell a 9-year-old that? A 9-year-old can't comprehend what a relationship is about. A 15, 16-year-old can't really conceptualize being a grown person in their 30s or 40s in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So some people treat their kids like, I've never treated my kids like they're my friends. My kids are my children. Like, I love them, and I confide in them in certain things. Like when it comes to money. Like my kids know a lot about money. My kids know about my bills. My kids know about my money because that's going to help them as they grow up. They understand money. So they understand the money I spend and what things cost. So as they get older, they don't go out and just be like, hey, mom's going to foot the bill for everything. I'm not. I make them pay for certain things that have responsibilities money wise. But when it comes to relationships and conflict and stuff like that, there's certain things that, like when it comes to death, I'm real about my kids because we've experienced a lot of death in our family. But when it comes to like romance or relationships,
only way my pictures would have got sent back if you was on a restriction list.
no. Yeah, your kids are not your friends. Like Tiffany said, your kids are not your friends. Okay, True says he ain't been getting none of that, Tiffany. He said he didn't get them pictures. He said, so do y'all think True sent the picture? First of all, I just had to say, I don't even understand why True is even talking to Shanta. Maybe because she's sending him money. Because to me, in my observation, it seems like True don't even like Shanta. It seems like he doesn't really like her. He calls her ghetto. He sent her pictures back, allegedly. I don't know. He just doesn't seem like he really likes her like that. Like it seems like True is probably talking to like 10 other women. And he's like, I'm not going to have this ugly bee's picture up here. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to call her ugly. But I'm just saying that I think he's kind of like, I ain't got time. Okay, so now we got Rick and Samantha. Rick is out here riding a bike, looking like a whole fool on this bike.
It's nice and hot, sweaty.
What are you doing?
So he's on a call with Samantha, his boo, in jail.
Yeah.
Rick seems a little, like I said, Rick seemed like the type that would get taken by an online romance scammer as well. Rick seems like that type. He seems very like Space Cadet to me. Rick seems very spacey. Is it just me or is, Rick just seems very Space Cadet. It's like the elevator don't, I'm not trying to talk bad about Rick, but it just seems like, I don't know. Rick seemed a little, I don't know. He seems a little delayed to me. Like he just seems very like spacey. And not saying that Rick is not an intelligent man, but I'm just saying like, okay, so Samantha's real talking, saying that I guess Rick is going to an event, and both Rick and Samantha are recovering alcoholics. So both of these people. Why is Rick talking like this? She's asking, does your friends know about me that we're engaged? I take that as a no. So Samantha feels like she's being hidden.
When you jump that soon, doesn't always end well until you really get to know the person.
Right. Rick is talking some sense. Like you have to really get to know the person before you jump into marriage and relationships. Oh,
Just about you. I have a lot to lose myself.
He's saying that he has a lot to lose. Yeah.
Because we didn't take the time to get to know one another.
Right. But you did. Oh, yeah, but Rick did propose and did ask him to marry her. Poor Rick. He don't know. He seemed confused. Poor Rick. He just.
Okay. I love you.
He said, I love you. She said, okay. Click.
I've been married a couple times.
Rick been married a couple times.
I don't think it has to
Y'all, Rick been married a couple times. Yeah, Rick is definitely the type that would be swindled by a Nigerian African scammer. He's definitely the type.
If she was going to move out of state, that she has to be married. She wants that even before she gets out. It's like, how's that even work?
Rick is over here smoking. Like, Rick, I mean, he over here got some squares. Rick is over here Rick seems like a hot mess. Like, I'm just not going to lie.
I don't know. Like the
And Rick is having obviously Rick is having second thoughts.
I just want to make sure that everything's for the right reason.
He wants to make sure that he's doing everything right. And that's she just wants to get out of jail and she can't move state unless they get married, You think True is playing her like a lottery ticket. True is doing something. I think Rick is unstable. Like, I don't know about Rick. There's just something real, like, uneasy about him. I don't know. I don't know. True ain't cute either. He's not.
So you say Jan is the one. Hold up.
So, I don't know. Rick is just, I don't know. Yeah, True is definitely not cute, baby.
I'm so nervous.
Okay, so back to Ayana.
So I don't know how this is going to go, but...
Ayana's fixing to meet Jamal's family.
Hello. It's been a long time. I know, I haven't seen you in years. It's been a minute. Come on, I know. Hey, how y'all doing?
I think Jamal's sister, Rick and Samantha, is a senior citizen. That senior citizen version of Melissa and Louis. I don't know. Both of them seem like a hot mess.
Because he was with at the time, so she knows me as the baby mom's friend, not as his girlfriend. Come on, let's go on the swing, mommy. Go with your brother.
Oh, so yeah, this is Ayana, the same one that was best friends with his baby mama, Jamal's baby mama, when they got into a fight.
Topic that you talk about. Hey, my name's Ayana. I'm going to jail. Like, that's not a part of my introduction. I'm trying to see if this is going to be the daughter-in-law or the mistress. Which one is going to be?
They tried to see if this is going to be the daughter-in-law or the mistress.
This is the right one. This is the last one. Absolutely. I told her that.
She's talking about, I don't know if this is going to be the daughter-in-law or the mistress. It might be neither. It might be neither, mama. It might be neither.
That's it. Lucky number 5, I tell you that. So what's your intentions? Like, what's your intentions? We get married. We get married. I know my son and you know my son. You know Jamal, right? So in your heart, do you really think he just marrying type?
She said, do you really think he's the marrying type? Please listen to the mom, because the mom know her son. We know our sons. She like, you really think he gonna be faithful to you? Like, girl, come on now.
I've been doing this for 7 years. You know what I'm saying? I heard every pickup line possible. I know he a heartbreaker. Yes. How do we know? That's why everything's gonna be different. That's why we trying to figure out like what she.
Like the sisters, like they not convinced. They're like,
me and Jamal let each other be each other. Like, we.
How you gonna let somebody? Understand she been knowing Jamal since before he got locked up. I get it, but she act like she really know this man. She don't really know this man.
Make this one count. I wish you luck. I'm gonna be surprised.
She's like, I wish you luck. Like the mom and the sisters are keeping it real. They were like, we're gonna be surprised if you make it, but good luck, girl.
know my son, but I'm wishing y'all luck with it.
She's like, I know my son.
Mom takes our relationship serious just as much as I take it serious.
No, honey, you take the relationship serious. Jamal don't take this relationship serious. Jamal probably talking to 6 different women in prison right now. And probably still talking to her ex-best friend that she got into a fight with over a man.
I just hope she the right one.
The mom said, I just hope she the right one.
I know you. Is you ready? I'm ready. You want to deal with one woman?
The mom said you're gonna deal with one woman. Oh, because Jamal said he's giving them a 2-year grace period. That they gotta wait 2 years to get married, which is smart. Everybody coming home from jail should wait 2 years to get married. Because you don't know.
Because you talking marriage and everything, you gotta build that trust.
Yeah, you have to build a relationship. You can't build a relationship in prison. You can't build a relationship 1,000 miles away. I don't care what anybody's telling you. That's not how you build a relationship. Get out of jail, be together, and then see how it goes.
We want to make sure y'all good now.
Because this is your first marriage, right?
This will be your second marriage.
His second marriage.
Second.
Uh-oh. Oh, second marriage.
What happened to the first? Where is the first? Who was the first? I don't know about this.
Oh, she didn't know about the first marriage. Uh-oh. Jamal been married before. Wow. Well, you know.
I love her. I would totally have a relationship with him.
Again, this is what you did when you deal with people in jail.
I don't believe the story that you was telling me. Are you talking to somebody else that was in your picture?
I'm ready. I'm get my girl.
Why is Andrew running? Jamal's sister looked like Buckwheat from the Little Rascals. Leave them sisters alone. One of them was kind of cute.
Let the game speak.
Sorta. Anyway, back to Shanta and True.
Somebody else send you pictures or what?
Shanta and True. Okay. 3 weeks until True gets released. 3 weeks. True is saying he didn't get no pictures. Tiffany. Ayana's forever. Ayana's gonna be forever to something. She gonna end up getting pregnant by Jamal, having another baby and being upset and be another stupid baby mama over a stupid dusty ass man in prison. The end. That's my prediction. The end. I don't have to be a psychic to figure that out.
Maybe it's the homeboy sent me some pictures.
2 braids. See, True is on that straight up bullshit. True is on some bullshit, y'all. Jamal has a wife already, 6 kids, and 4 other baby mamas. Child. Please say it ain't so, Tiffany.
You know what I mean? And I just forgot about it.
True is lying and full of ish. He's a lot, sir. You're a liar, sir. You're a liar. Oh, the point is, he talking about, well, I forgot about the pictures and blah, blah, blah. No. You're right, Tiffany. True sent them pictures back. True sent them pictures back, y'all. Y'all know True sent them pictures back. He has a celly, and his celly's like, look at all these bad women I'm talking to. And then he showed up with Shanta's pictures and was like, wow. I'm telling you. And he was like, who is that? Oh, this the girl I'm talking to. And then he didn't show the pictures of Shanta, period. He saw the pictures that his celly or other friends in prison is talking to. He saw their pictures, these bad females they talking to. And then he saw a picture, then he got the pictures of Shanta, and he was like, uh-oh, I ain't gonna show these, and went ahead and sent them back, y'all. Come on, y'all. We all know what really happened. Because none of them pictures are contraband. They're not explicit.
It's dumb to me. There's no other way to say it.
You tripping off nothing right now.
I'm tripping because I don't know who sent you photos. That's not nothing. I think a girl sent 2 pictures. You ain't never lied to me or nothing like that.
And so she thinks
too much we didn't in a relationship where I just don't want you lying to me.
But she talking about the relationship with Shanta. You can't be a relationship when you're the only person in it. Because it seems like she the only one in the relationship. Because it don't seem like, yeah, she said she feel like he lying. And her instincts is correct. Because he's lying. True is lying to her.
Yeah, I'm physically attracted to her. She being home.
Let me rewind this. Hold on. Let me listen, y'all. Let me listen real good.
I feel like you're lying. I just said that.
Wait a
I
minute.
normally date white females.
He normally date white females.
I say, yeah, I'm physically attracted to her.
True said normally, yeah, I date white females. But he was like, yeah, I'm physically attracted to her. Yep. Y'all, that was the funniest thing I didn't seen on the whole season this yet. Is yeah, I'm physically attracted to her. Yep. Yeah. Uh-huh. Baby, I can't today. I cannot today. Why he up here lying?
It took me to come to prison to figure out like what loyalty is, what love is.
He's like, it took me to come to prison to figure out what loyalty is and what love is. If you don't go sit down somewhere, True. If you don't go sit your ass down somewhere, he is not attracted to this woman. He does not. All he had to say is he dated white women before, and to know that he's with her because she is sending him money. He don't, the way he talked to her, he's not attracted to her. He doesn't want to be with her.
My heart is like, I just don't believe True could be talking to somebody else. My head like, girl, stop it.
Yeah, like he's talking to a bunch of other females, not just one or two. Shanta, it's about a bunch of them. And they probably all snow bunnies. And I ain't mad at that. He's attracted to what he's attracted to. As to why he got with Shanta, I don't even understand. Like, I like all my men to look like Drake. I mean, what are we talking about here? I'm not finna go date True. And I like Drake. I like my men to look like Drake. So I don't know. Anyway, back to crazy Rick and weirdo Rick and bugaboo Samantha. That's the best way I can say it.
Seriously, don't think she's gonna be there.
True name should have been it should have been lies. Not True. Ain't nothing true about True. He a liar. He's not attracted to her at all. He don't want to be with her. I knew that since the first episode. I was like, he don't want to be with her. So Rick is a weirdo to me. He just acts weird.
Don't worry, it'll all work out.
She's talking about she's scared about Rick falling off the wagon because he's a recovering alcoholic big time.
15 or 16. When I was drinking,
He started drinking 15 or 16.
Normally never do, and it always destroyed relationships. When I was
And he said it always destroys relationships. Well, no duh.
Something to screw things up.
And then you can tell when people drink a lot because you can look in their face. Like I tell people, I said the worst thing that people can do is drink a lot of alcohol because it'll age you. I mean, even though Rick is 58 and Samantha's 56, they look good. I mean, Rick looks good for his age. He's a handsome guy. He was a good looking guy, and they show pictures of him when he was younger. In his 20s, he was a really good looking guy. Oh no, I think it's fixing to rain today, y'all. Or is that a motorcycle? No, that's a motorcycle. Sorry, y'all. But Rick's still a handsome guy, but you can tell like that alcohol, it ages you. Alcohol and drugs age you. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I don't do none of that. So
Actually, a lot better because I think I made kind of an ass of myself last time.
So I think he's going to a class reunion. Yeah, 1983, 40th class reunion. What happened to my class reunion? Wait a minute. Did I even go? I don't think they probably could find me.
2 years during the pandemic, he just called me out of the blue and said, "Hey, what you doing?" Blah blah blah.
I don't know if our school even have class reunions.
We had a really good time. So downtown.
I was just wondering when that was.
Because I think we should have had a class reunion in 2021, but then again, it was like in the middle of COVID, so maybe that's why I didn't have no class reunion. It was in the middle of COVID.
Was he seeing anybody now? Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little excited.
Okay, so they haven't. I don't know. This is not to me. This doesn't seem like a real class reunion. Most class reunions are at the school. This just seems like a bunch of people got together with a bunch of other people that they went to school with, and they're having a party over their house. I don't know why we're trying to call this a class reunion. This just seems like a party with a bunch of people who went to school together and hung around together.
It's been a couple years.
Yeah, no. So that was fantastic. Big surprise. Sandy looks good. She's
So here comes Sandy. Sandy trying to yoke Rick up. She trying to scoop Rick up, y'all. Sandy like,
She said you guys hooked up, like hooked up. Freaking all in there.
there's a lot of alcohol there. He said part of it I don't even remember.
Didn't happen then. I've known Rick since
Oh Lord, Carol.
high school. He was a jock.
And he just was the sweetest.
He was always surrounded by the coolest guys.
Hey.
I can't believe these. Okay, let me stop and say, I can't believe these 50-something-year-olds. We still going back to high school. I'm gonna tell you, I don't even remember what the hell I even did in high school. Like I don't remember what I did in high school. High school was not a big thing for me. High school, I'm younger than these, a little bit younger than these people. They got about 8 years on me. So Rick is 58, so Rick got about 8, 9 years on me. I don't remember what I did in high school. I don't know how these people remember. I barely remember what I did in high school. I was just trying to get through it. High school was not like this big part of my life. It kills me with these people who are older, who are like almost 60 years old, and they're talking about shit that happened in high school. I was just like, you do understand that was like, I mean, like 40 something years ago. I mean, I just be like 40 years ago. Y'all talking about stuff that happened 40 years ago.
An understanding.
I can't remember what I even had for dinner last week. Like, y'all, I'll be honest. So, I mean, these people really talk, really like, well, in high school we did this and this and we hooked up. How do y'all even remember this stuff? High school was not a big deal for me. So I can't, I hate these people that are like, their best year, they peaked in high school. And then for the rest of their lives, they ain't really did too much of anything else. Like, that's just sad. I told my son, I said, you should never be trying to peak in high school. He's about to go to high school next year. Peaking in high school is not a flex. It's not a flex. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's not a flex.
just talking.
So Samantha calling while he at the party. She like, what you doing? Who you talking to? She talking about those girls better respect that we getting married. Samantha, ain't nobody getting married to you either, I don't think. But yeah, it's not a flex to be like, I was the man in high school. And it's like, so what have you done for the rest of your life? Nothing? You over here looking like Ted Bundy. Like Uncle Rico. I can throw this ball over a mountain, like Uncle Rico up in here. Like, please don't be Uncle Rico, y'all. Don't be like the cheerleader that was the cheerleader and then now she's fat and ugly. And I didn't peak in high school. I peaked when I hit about 40. I had my peak at 40. I'm still peaking. So Samantha just calling, just shutting it down, just all up on the phone. Who you? She said, I hope you guys are having fun. So Sandra and Samantha, they know each other. She like, we partied in high school, girl. Sandra is being messy. Sandra's messy. Sandra's messy. She's messy, y'all. She's asking Samantha, so what happened? Why'd you get up in jail? Ooh, it's just a mess.
That's awesome. Hearing that he is engaged.
Sandy is drunk. Sandy is drunk. She's 3 sheets to the wind, y'all. She's like hearing that he's engaged. Sandy don't think he's thinking straight.
Yes, I will. Yes,
Sandy is drunk.
Jump into somebody's relationship at.
Sandy said, I'm not trying to jump in somebody's relationship.
He was in love with me for a long time.
Oh, Rick was in love with her for a long
If he
time.
was single, I'd be all over that.
She said if he was single, she'd be all over that.
I will get that.
She's Samantha told Rick, don't go in no bedrooms, don't go in there, don't do it. Like, this is sad when 50-something-year-old people up here trying to party like they 16, 17 years old. This is just sad.
Now, you came into my life.
She's like, not Samantha laying it on.
One of the things that needs to happen prior to my release is Rick has to relocate to Idaho.
So Rick has to relocate to Idaho.
But I have little girls that need me.
Oh, she has children. Rick don't have no kids. So she can't leave her children.
But we'll be more solid and committed that way.
Samantha says she's trying to be patient. But Rick, you know. Samantha, she might as well realize, girl, like, I don't think this is going to work out. I went to an all-female Catholic high school in the Bronx and could not stand some of my classmates. Girl, you ain't lying. I didn't like barely anybody I went to school with. When I was 16 years old, well, first of all, when I was in high school, I was a Jehovah's Witness. So it's not like I had a lot of friends in high school anyway, because I was a witness and you can't hang around people who are non-witnesses. So that's a problem. And then also when I stopped being a Jehovah's Witness, by that time I was like, I was backsliding. By the time I was in like my junior or senior year, I started to kind of backslide and hang out with worldly people. And the people that I hung out with were not people I went to high school with. Everybody I hung out with were older, or they went to other schools, but a lot of them were older. I had a lot of older friends, not a lot, but some older friends when I was 16, 17. So the friends that I hung out with were like 20, 21, like they were older kids. So, I mean, older adults. They were young adults, but older than me. So I didn't have a lot of friends in high school. I could care less. You had more fun and peaked during your Navy days from 2000 to 2008. See? I can't stand these people that peak in high school. There's nothing to peak in high school. You're under the age of 18. You can't drink. You can't go to a club. You can't go to parties. You can't, like, to me, being in high school was just boring. Like, it was just waiting for me to just grow up so I could actually go out and do grown people stuff. You know, I wanted to go to clubs and I wanted to go to parties. And once I hit 21, then I was like, okay, this was fun. But between like 14 and 21, it wasn't really a lot of fun. It was just like hanging out with people and driving around. Me and my friends used to drive around, you know, and just hang out and park. And like, that wasn't fun to me. I wanted to do real things. I wanted to travel. I wanted to have a job. I wanted to have my own apartment. I wanted to be independent on my own. So back to Iyanla and Jamal. Sandra is thirsty. She reminds me of the Dirty Bird, kind of. She gives off that energy. And I don't like the energy. So back at Iyanla and Jamal. He said he don't recall that.
Okay, I never asked you, Jamal. All right, cool, bet.
Oh, it's a bottle of water, yay.
Like, how do you miss that? Married.
How did you miss that? Oh, I was married before. How do you like, oh, I forgot that. I don't. Like, yeah, I thought I told you. No, you didn't. Oh, well, I don't recall. I thought I did. Not unless he was talking to another female and told her.
No, I'm not, because you never said that.
Look at the mom and the sister just standing there like, it is what it is.
You never said, yo, bro, you never said that.
He never said that. He probably thought he told her and told some other chick.
Absolutely, but you still never told me that y'all were married.
I never met the baby mom.
So the baby mama, she's not a baby mama. She's ex-wife.
I had 6 children, 4 baby mothers. If you have kids, I know you have to speak to this girl. But like,
How do you forget this happened? You was married to her before. Like, that just don't.
Yeah, okay. You right, Tiffany. He got 6 kids and 4 baby mamas. First of all, I wouldn't even want to marry a fucking person like that. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real. Now, if you were married before twice and you got 6 kids, that's one thing. You got 4 baby mamas and 6 kids. Why Why would I want to even be with somebody like that, yo? Why would she want to be with somebody like that? Like, I don't understand. You got 2 kids of your own. This is almost the same situation that my cousin went through, y'all. Like, I'm not trying to put her business out there, but my cousin went through the same situation. She got with him. She didn't have any kids. She didn't have any kids. And she got with a man that had 5 kids with 3 different baby mamas. Well, guess what? Now she's baby mama 4. And guess what? This man don't take care of her kid. I'm like the baby daddy of this child. My little cousin, she spends summers with us. We take her everywhere. She's over my house. I've bought clothes for this kid. I've bought birthday gifts. This kid is like my 3rd child, and I take care of her and I love her. We love my kids. Love her. Here comes cousin. The cousin comes over. It's like she's another one of my children because her father does nothing for her because he already has 5 other children by 3 different baby mamas. And so when my cousin got pregnant by this fool, I was like, this is just stupid. And it is because he don't take care of none of his kids. So he takes care of about 3 of them. The other 2 or 3, they don't get, I mean, there's only so much work you can do in child support. So he's broke. He lives with his mama. He don't make no money. Like, why would you don't want to be with somebody like that, ladies. Don't do it. So our idea that you with somebody with 6 kids and 4 baby mamas, that's a headache I don't need and don't want to go to. I don't want to deal with all them kids and I don't want to deal with all them women. He's saying like I'm an open book. I don't think Jamal lied to Ayana. I think that he may have told he may be talking to other females and forgot which ones he told, because I don't believe that none of these people in prison are just talking to this one person on this show. I think maybe Ayana's probably one of 3 or 4 different women he's talking to, and probably thought he did tell her. Yeah, Jamal has a lot of growing up to do, even though he's 30 years old. I don't understand it, but okay, sure, sisters, sure. Y'all want the sisters already know that he's talking to other women. They already know. The look on their face tell me that they already know that Jamal is talking to other women. Ayana finna leave and probably another chick is finna show up. They just stayed at the park and they be like, okay, this chick is gonna show up between 1 and 2, and this other chick is gonna show up between 2:30 and 3:30, and then the other bitch will be here between 4:30 and 5. Okay, like let's just all keep it real. Okay? So stop playing. 2-year grace period is for him to decide which chick he gonna be with. Yeah, she's finna go to jail. She's not gonna be able to talk to him. This relationship just seems doomed. I don't think it's gonna work out.
Something as big as this away from me.
Yeah, I don't think he was trying to keep it away from her. I think he just didn't think. I don't think she's enough priority for him to be like, oh, I need to tell her. Honey, you one chick of many, honey. Just stop playing. So I don't understand why these women and men think they so important, and they like, girl, especially if they're on a Prison Pal website, you know damn well they talking to multiple people.
West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and now Las Vegas, Nevada. If we could just get her released.
So back to Andrew and Candace. So Andrew, I don't know. Andrew seems a little slow to me too.
Any word?
She's like, what are you doing?
Just waiting to come to you.
So I guess he's waiting for Candace to get out. Good morning, GSP. Candace says she want to go.
I am picking Candace up at the Nevada Parole and Probation Office.
So he's supposed to be waiting to pick Candace up. He's excited to see her, but she's just kind of like, I don't understand how Andrew can talk to Candace and not tell that she don't give a flip about him. Like, even these small conversations that we're hearing, you can tell that, like, She ain't like, oh, I'm so happy to see you. I can't wait till I get out to be with you. Hey, fabulous me.
Me too.
Happy Mother's Day. Yes, it applies. Applies to me. I'm definitely a mother. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
So
It's kind of a bittersweet day for me because, last year my mother died in April, and then my mother-in-law just died a month ago. And so my sister-in-law is having a hard time
she's approved to
yesterday and today. And so we are both having a hard time on Mother's Day.
go somewhere
But
else. So
I'm going to do something with my kids today, and we're going to make it a good Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. So if you have a mother, hug your mother and tell your mother how much you love her.
eat it with. So
Andrew got flowers up. He got the nice, cute apartment. He got cute furniture. Like, she's all set. Again, I wish maybe I'm doing it wrong. Apparently, ladies, we're doing it wrong. Apparently, I need to be in prison in order to get a man to do things because I ain't never had no man do. I was married. I've been in many relationships, long-term relationships. I ain't had no dude like buy furniture for my apartment. I mean, I could barely get a mofo to even help me move. So, that just tell you how maybe I'm doing it wrong because, maybe I need to go out and find an ugly man. I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think? Do y'all think we should go out and find an ugly man?
when I see
Let me stop. I'm just a little salty today because I'm just like, you got a whole apartment with furniture? Shit, I could barely get I could barely get any of my exes to help me move.
36 hours.
They like, I got something to do. So I'm just like, okay, so I'm calling them movers. Okay.
Hour contact visits, but countless.
Andrew running across the street. What was that run he was doing?
It's going to be
What was that run, y'all? Don't run like that no more.
finally open.
Poor Andrew. Yeah. I mean, Candace, she don't want to be with that man. That's I did watch According to Amber. If you have not watched According to Amber, she's a YouTuber. And I did watch her talk about Candace. And Candace has been married like 3 times, y'all. So this ain't Candace's first rodeo. And the dudes that she married to, they didn't look anything like Andrew. Like, Andrew is not her type. Like, period. So he over here standing in front of the jail, running across the street. That's the same with Brandwin and Chaz. Y'all remember Brandwin and Chaz? We all know Brandwin wasn't gonna stay with Chaz because he wasn't her type. So anyway, we leave off the episode where Andrew's standing outside waiting for Candace to get out of jail. And that's the end of the episode. So what do y'all think about this episode? I can get you Andrew's number. Baby, Andrew is not my type either. Andrew is not my type. I mean, I'd have to I don't know. I'd have to rethink my life. So what did y'all think about this episode? Because, to me, attraction is the thing. Like, I can't, I've been with dudes. Okay, I do have to say in my defense, I have been with dudes. I dated a guy that was really into me, but I wasn't attracted to him, like, in that way. And then it didn't work out. Like, it lasted for a little bit, but after a while, I was like, I couldn't do it no more because I couldn't be intimate with this person. I couldn't kiss on this person, love on this person. Because to me, physical, affection and things is a big part of me wanting to be in a relationship, and I couldn't fake it. Like, some women can fake it. Some women can be like, "Oh yeah, hey baby," da, da, da. I don't have them acting skills. Like, you can tell my disdain. Like you can tell it in my body language. You can tell how I talk to you. I need to lower my standards. Well, damn. Yeah, I guess GSP. Because you can tell how I talk to you, and because generally speaking, in a relationship, I'm not an overly emotional, touchy feely, affectionate person. So the idea of me being with somebody I'm not attracted to, I want to be less of a touchy feely person. I'm really gonna be like, oh hey, like, my disdain is you can tell. Like, I never could be one of these chicks that used to do for money because you could just tell in my body language and how I talk to you. Like, I'll talk to you real rude if I don't like you. Like, if I don't like you, like, it's just anybody, whether romance or not. There's people I used to work with in my old job that I didn't care for, and people, you could tell. People, like, it's written all over your face. When I get around certain people, I'm just like, yeah, hi, okay. Yeah, like, it just, I'm one of these people very expressive. So I can't hide it. Fabulous Me says, I think it's crazy that these people can convince themselves they are not a mark and being used for money. I agree. I said earlier that the same people on Love After Lockup who date these prisoners, who be on 90 Day and date these dudes internationally, are the same people who get scammed by scammers. These people have the same mentality. These are the same people that will get in over the phone relationships with people and send them money. These are the same type of people. They have the same mentality. They do the same things. They're in relationships with somebody that's not physically and emotionally able to be there for them. And they've convinced themselves that they're in love with this person. And yes, it is. It's like another level of scamming. It is another level of scamming. So these people talking to these men and women internationally, and they're at least they're video chatting them, but still they're still sending these. A lot of times in 90 Day Fiance, they're sending these people money overseas. A lot of these people are sending these people money. They helping them out with their rent or with their food or with their family or it's that, but they've never met this person. How can you send money to somebody that you've never met, that you've maybe video chatted with, and you talk to and text over the phone? It's the same mentality, because these people, like, again, I've said before in my other videos when I talked about online scamming, these people like somebody to be on beck and call. When you're in jail, you ain't got shit to do. When you're in jail, you ain't got nothing to do but to call and video chat, and that's all you have to do. You have nothing but time in jail. So these people they don't want a relationship. They want a kind of parasocial kind of obsession. They want somebody that's on the beck and call for them. They text me, they call me, they show me lots of attention. These people don't want normal relationships. They don't want to work for a relationship. They want somebody that will show them lots of attention and lots of love and love bomb them real quick. Then they want to talk about getting married real quick. All these people talk about getting married quickly. On Love After Lockup, 90 Day Fiance, and these people getting scammed. They all talk about falling in love quickly and being together, and we're going to get married and real quick. Like stuff that normal people like you and I would be like, okay, I'm not going to marry somebody I've been talking to over the phone for 2 months. Like, to me, that's absurd. That's absurd. But for these people, that's the kind of relationship they like. They like these real fast track relationships. And that's how people get scammed, because the scammers love bomb them. These people in prison hustle and love bomb them too. These people internationally hustle and scam them. All of this is a scam. It's a hustle. It's just different levels to this shit. It's just different levels of scamming. Yeah, a lot of these people in prison don't have support, so they turn to pen pals. They're writing multiple people all the time. So people take the fact that people in jail need support. They have nothing to do in jail. They have nothing but time in jail, but to devote to paying attention to you. So people take that attention as love. And I tell people, attention is not love. Love bombing is oh, I'm in love with you and da 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 da. Telling you flattery is not love. People confuse the two. That if this person flatters me and they pay attention to me, then I fall in love with that. Then they fall in love with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I don't get, that these people, they fall for it over and over again. So you see people dating multiple people in prison. That's not the first time. Like Deontay, before he dated the multiple people. All these people are like, oh, they've talked to other guys in prison before, or other women in prison before. So it's like a pattern. And I promise you, these same people who have talked to people in prison have also talked to scammers. GSP says she got love bombed and married the fool. Bad idea. Yeah. Fabulous Me says it makes her feel good about her life choices, and I keep watching. Me too. I don't feel so bad about my relationships. We've all had bad relationships. We have all been lied to, cheated on, messed around, all of that. But what I ain't did is send somebody $30,000 in prison, or somebody that I've never met, send them $30,000, or somebody overseas that I'm sending them money because they're in a poor village somewhere in Nigeria. I've never done that. So I can say my money is firmly intact. I've been a fool for love. We all have. We all of us have been in toxic relationships, sometimes downright physical and criminal relationships. I mean, not me, but I know some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all have been in very domestic situations. So we've all been there. But one thing I haven't done, I haven't been a victim of a scammer and never will. I ain't breaking bread with nobody. I've never had a prison romance. The guys that I did talk in prison is because we were dating before they went to jail. We were together before they went to jail. And those relationships did not last very long. Like once they got to jail after a couple of months, I'm like, okay, I can't keep this up. Like I couldn't keep up being with somebody through letters, through emails, and through prison visits. It's not for me. Like other people, I'm not judging nobody. That may be for you, but for me, it doesn't work for me because I need somebody here with me. I need somebody to hold hands with and date with and be intimate with and be intimate with and be intimate with, be intimate with. Let me say it for the people in the back. Let your church say amen today, amen. Because I can't be with somebody that I'm not physically around and touching and loving on, especially somebody that I don't know. Now, if you were in prison beforehand, like I said, that's a different situation. If we were together dating and then you go to prison, I'm still gonna dump you because I got a whole life to lead and I need, a partner with me. Tiffany says if those inmates while in jail were smart, they would have been smart enough to get themselves a job and education. Yes, and not end up in jail in the first place. Brittany and Marciano was a pen pal relationship that actually worked, but Marcelino, messed it up by cheating. He met Brittany through a pen pal site. Yeah, a lot of them met through a pen pal site. But on this show, a lot of them don't last. A lot of them don't last. I mean, I forgot, somebody talked about the statistics on Life After Lockup, Love During Lockup. Most of these couples don't last a year or two. That either the person ends up back in prison, or they break up, or both. Like most of these couples do not last. They do not withstand the test of time because it is tough to get out of prison and jump into a relationship. It is tough to get out of jail and just go back to normal life, period. Much less you getting out of jail and then you're developing a relationship and this person may or may not have children, or you may or may not have children. So you have to reconnect with your kids and it's tough. The odds are firmly against you that somebody's going to get out of prison and they're going to ride off into something. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I know somebody who it has happened. I know a few people, but they, but on this particular show, the odds are stacked against them because the show is part of the factor. A lot of things that these people are doing on this show is stunts, tricks, flips. A lot of the motivation for these people to stay in a relationship sometimes is because they want to be on the show. So these people on this show don't have a good track record of staying together because a lot of times these people are on the show just to be on the show. Y'all understand what I'm saying? A lot of things that they're doing are scripted, are written, and so they're really not getting a chance to have a real relationship because they're being filmed and they're having to do things for the show. So a lot of times the time that they can be taking to getting to know each other and connecting is thrown out the window because they're like, oh, we got to film. Oh, we got to do go here and go do this and go do that because we're going to be filming for 3-4 months. So when they get out of jail, it's like they're still not, connecting and leading a real relationship. They're not having a real relationship because the show is there. So the show hinders their building and growing a relationship as well, other than just regular people talking to somebody in prison. Again, I can never talk to anybody in prison because I don't trust people. I don't trust a dude on the outside, okay? I do online dating. Y'all know I did videos about it. I'm about to do another live video talking about 5 ways to keep from being online scammed. But y'all know that like I don't trust people because anybody could pretend to be anything over the phone, online, writing you. They could say whatever they want to say. They could lie to you. They could be like, oh, I want to be with you. And they could be texting you and typing you and they got a man or a woman right next to them, or sometimes both. So I don't trust people. I've been lied to, I've been cheated on, and I just, I just don't trust people. I just don't trust anybody to be who they say they are. And so I really need proof. To me, proof is in actions. To me, actions speak louder than words. You can say whatever you want to say over text messages and phone chats and video chats. I need to see what you're doing. I need to see if you're really interested in me. Like I said, online dating, whether it be prison pals or not, it's perilous because, it's just a whole thing. But at least when people are talking to prison pal people on their dating sites, um, you know that most of the time the prisoner is going to write you. Online dating, you talk to people, you give them their number, you don't even know if they're even going to text you back. You may text a little bit and it fizzles out. That's happened to me plenty of times. I've given dudes my number on online dating and it fizzled out. Like they'll text a little bit and then, I'm the type of person that like, I'm going to work, I'm going to put as much energy as you are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to sit here and jump through hoops and doing kicks and flips and pee popping. I'm not about to do all of that. Just to try to keep your attention and then you see the person back online, they still online, or you see they'll go off a little bit, they'll talk to you a little bit, and then they be back online again and then talking about they want a relationship. Relationships take work. Relationships take effort on both parties and both parties. You can't, I'm not satisfied, me personally, with a text message talking about, hey, what are you doing? That's not you trying to get to know me. That's really not much of anything. So online dating is a dumpster fire, whether it be prisoners or not, because you never know. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Like Forrest Gump said, you just never know. So I don't know. This is the episode. I'm about to wrap this up. So what did y'all think about the episode? I give it I don't know. What do y'all rate it? It was a little bit better than last week's episode was a D-. So this episode is like maybe a D+. I'm interested to see next week. Hopefully they'll show more about Andrew and Candace. Hopefully we see more about Shanta and True. GSP said this is why I stay home and alone. Right. GSP gives it a B. Once again, GSP said she kind of enjoyed it. I give it a D+, maybe a C-. Y'all. So far this season has just been like, I'm just sitting there like, to me, again, I'll say it again. There are too many couples on this season. This season could have been split up with half of the couples on one, because there's episodes where we don't see the couples. I don't know why they did this. I don't know if they did this because a lot of the couples didn't have things going on, or there was no drama, or whatever it is. But I hate to see so many couples where we go 2 episodes and we haven't seen certain couples that were on the first episode. ZZIZ gives it a B. I can't, y'all. Like this it was better than it was last week. But the first episode to me came out swinging, y'all. The first 2 episodes was good. These last episodes, I'm just like, okay, But again, I don't know why Shanta and True are on there, because to me they're boring. And I think the Love During Lockup should be 2 episodes and then move to Life After Lockup. Something. That's a good idea. Something, Fabulous Me. I don't know. Something. I don't know. But to me, it's just, I'm happy to see new couples, so I guess I can't complain too much. I'm glad we got rid of these other couples that have been on here, but it gets boring to me. Yeah, it gets boring. The first couple episodes, it came out swinging. I was like, okay. And then the 3rd episode, I'm like, okay. Then the 4th episode, I'm like, Jesus. And then now this episode, I'm like, okay. Like it just kind of gets, again, my issue is too many couples. We're going whole episodes without following half of these people. I promise you, I'll go back and watch the first episode, and there's going to be couples that I forgot about that are even on there because they haven't showed them in a few episodes. And I don't like that. I don't like being like, because I forget the stories. I'm like, well, what's going on with these people again? Like, who, what, like we didn't get to see Teenie and Rob this episode. They might be next episode. They may skip 2 episodes. And I just, then we didn't get to see the gay dudes, Joey and Michael. So I don't like that. I like every episode where I at least see a little bit of them, but skipping like 2 episodes here and then show them and then they go for another. I don't, that's not really my idea of being coherent. Anyone here in the Love During Lockup type relationship? Oh no, Lord. I maybe, I don't know. I know not GSP. And I know not Tiffany. Tiffany got a man. I've dated, like I said, I've dated dudes in jail, dudes who had been in jail, Like my ex was in prison for 3 years. But that was like 15 years ago. Fabulous Me said, nope, married since 1996. ZZ, yeah, ZZIZ is the only one. That this ZZIZ is in a love after lockup type of relationship. I remember when you said that on my other video. Fabulous Me married since 1996. Oh wow, congratulations, Lord. I just, you know, like I said, I did a video where I went on a Prison Pal website and I took a look and I looked around and I did a whole video about that. Y'all watch it. And I just was sitting there going, this is what people, none of those men seem very attractive. Not none, but there was a few, but none of those dudes seemed like, I mean, there was just nothing really there. There was grainy and blurry pictures on the website. Yeah, ZZ, you had to be our expert. Because did you meet your dude from a prison website? Because I went on the prison website and there was nothing for me, y'all. There was nothing for me on the prison website. I don't know how anybody, male or female, go on a prison chat website. I went on several different websites and I signed up and there was no men, there was nothing. Whoop, sorry, y'all. There was nothing on that website that interests me. There was nothing. There was just, I'm just like, I'm just swiping going, okay. And then I'm reading the profiles and all the profiles sound alike. It was like, hey, I'm looking for someone to talk to. This, prison life doesn't define me. It's not really who I am. I was like, next profile. Hi, I'm looking for someone to talk to and support while I'm locked up in here. God bless you. This prison life. I mean, every profile pretty much, I was like, are they reading from a script? Did the same people write it? What is happening? Is it AI? Did they get it? Did they get the introductory message from AI? Because I was like, why is all the messages, why is all the profiles sound the same? I'm like, this is crazy to me. And then the man, it was grainy pictures. Some of the pictures I could tell they were old Polaroid pictures. I was like, I don't want to see your Polaroid picture from 25 years ago, boo. There were the men on there. I was just like, yeah. Like, it wasn't nobody really like, oh, okay, that's the kind of man, he cute. There's a few cute ones, but it wasn't nobody that I would be like willing to invest my time in writing. So I didn't even like reply to anybody. I didn't send anybody a message when I was on a Prison Pals website because it was just like these dudes. I'm like, these dudes that they profile messages sounded real corny. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. It sounded corny. I was like, this dude just sound corny. It just sounded corny to me. And I was just like, ugh, corny. Ever since been talking, she took down her profile. We'll see how it goes. I'm a man and met her on Cage Ladies. Yeah, I looked at the ladies' website, but you men, y'all have it good though. Because when I went to there was another one called like Prison Bunnies or something. When I went to their website, the women were stunning. Like the women, I was like, shit, I would talk to her and I'm not even gay. Like I would be like, I'll pen pal you, lady. You seem like you cool. And I read some of the women's profiles and they were like, okay. Like y'all trust me. Dating a prison woman, y'all have it a lot better than these men. Because these men, I mean, it was just corny. But the women, I have been on the women's websites. I have seen the women. And some of these women were gorgeous. Women, just because you're in prison, women, they still do their makeup and they still do their hair. And there were some gorgeous women on that site. Like there were some women that I was like, whoa, like I could see why men would go to a prison website, but I can't see any idea why a woman would go to a prison website and meet a man because those profiles were corny, those pictures was grainy, and them men was hooded out, man. Like they say here in Texas, they're hooded out. Them men would not. I mean, especially the ones that are older. And I don't know about the young ones because I set mine to a certain age group, but I was looking for men over 35. Those men in prison, they was not cute, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest. They was just not cute. But the women was cute. Like I said, the women was cute. Because I was like, let me see what the women looking like. And the women was cute. There were some good looking females in prison. I did. Like I said, I have family members that have been in prison. And I, There were some good looking women. I don't know how old these pictures were, but some of these pictures were prison pics. They were new pictures, and the women, some of them were put together. Because like I said, I didn't see women in prison wear makeup and they do makeup and things that they do with the hair. When it comes to online dating, whether it be prison website or nothing, men, y'all have it better anyway. Women, I've been on both sides of dating apps. Like I tell everybody, if you're going to get on a dating app, I would suggest people get on both sides. Get on both sides to see what people are looking at. Because if you get on the side and you see what the women are looking at, you would really understand why women are choosing to be single and they done with men. Because the men, their pictures are like this. Why do older men take pictures like this? Or they laying down the picture like this? Why don't men know how to take pictures? It's not hard. It's not a rocket science. It's not, I could go off all day about online dating apps and these pictures that these men do. They're horrible. And then I went on the women's side. So I've been on the women's side for Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, prison sites. I want to see what the men are looking like. I'm like, you men have it easy. These women are going, I see women that ain't even that cute. They full nose hair pick, girl. Just all up in the camp. I'm just like, what woman in their right mind be like, ooh, yeah, daddy. Give me that nose hair, daddy. Like, who in their right mind would be like, girl, I'm finna swipe right on his ass. Woo! Today, winner, chicken dinner. Nobody says nobody, okay? I don't know why men can't take pics. I have no idea why. It's weird to me. And I was like, it's not hard. It's even young dudes. Like, I'm not talking about just older men. Even my son's 14, don't know how to take pics. I mean, he has a Polaroid. They got Polaroids on this prison website. Polaroids from 25 years ago, talking about that's them. Baby, I know that ain't you. It's called kitten fishing, y'all. When people post pictures of them from 10, 15 years ago that don't look like nothing like them. They do it on every dating app. I didn't see pictures. I'm like, that the clothes, the hair, everything in the picture is from like 1997. And I'm like, sir, I know you don't look like that. Then people posting pictures from when they were teenagers or when they were in the military 30 years ago. Why? I don't give a damn what you look like in the military 30 years ago, sir. Thank you for your service. But you ain't serving nothing up in that picture. Oh, you 30 years ago and now you fat and balding with a dad bod. Come on now, just be honest. If that's what you look like, say it with your whole chest. Just be like, this is me. This is what I look like. This is who I am. And be happy what you look like. Women, yes, women, I can say about the women on the women's side, they use a lot of filters. Ladies, stop with the filters. They change your whole facial construction. Face don't even look nothing like that. They look like racially ambiguous. Like you don't even know what race they is no more. They didn't change the whole race. They didn't got a filter and they didn't went from white to Asian. I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? You didn't change. How do you look a different race in some pictures? So yes, women get the criticism because they need to stop with the filters. Because they'll have a whole nose, a different cheekbones. You get a picture filter that make you 50 pounds lighter. Like, I mean, I need to learn. I don't use filter. I need to learn how to use filters too, girl, because I don't know. All I do is slap on a little makeup and put a wig on. That's just, but these people be doing filters. They be changing their whole race. Their whole race. Like you done went from black to Blasian to Malaysian to Hispanic. I'm just like, how is that your skin color didn't change? You done went from brown to light, bright, and nearly white just with one damn filter. I'm like, what the hell is going on over here? You over there looking like Grace Jones. Next thing you come back, you looking like Cardi B. What the hell what filter is that? What filter is that? Did you change your entire race? People be using them. I'm like, I'm just trying to look like me. I'm fine looking like me. The filters are very deceiving, very. And so they trick men into thinking that they meeting somebody that's a whole, GSP talking about United Nations. You done went through the whole colors of Benetton. Like, remember that Benetton? Remember back in the day, the colors of Benetton? You done went through all the races. Like, you started out black and you ended up Asian. I don't know. You didn't went through all of them. You white, black, Asian, green. Like, you Mongolian. Like, you Indian. All of it. Like, stop with the filters. Now, women do that a lot. But for the most part, these are still women that I would consider to be all right and attractive. Even the older ones. Women, we just age better than men do. Men don't age a lot like we do. The United Colors have been a time. Girl, yes. They went through all the colors. Yeah, but I just think generally my anecdotal thing is that women age better than men do, for the most part. There are men when you talk about these scammers, most of the pictures they taking is gay men. You know, I just need straight men to be more like gay men. Gay men, they understand that it's about their appearance. And so a lot of these scammers steal pictures of middle age when they trying to pretend to be in their 40s and 50s and 60s. They steal pictures of gay men because gay men, they know they have to keep their shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like gay men, they keep themselves manicured. They keep looking good. Like most gay men I know, they're in their 50s and 60s. They're you know, they real nice looking. Men aren't that picky. That's not true. It depends. That's not true. That's not true. People say men ain't picky. Men can't. Some men can't. I get tired of the notion that men are simple. Men are not simple. Like me and I guess I told y'all in my other video, me and my ex had this conversation. He admitted that men aren't simple when it comes to relationships. If men were simple, I wouldn't be single. I'm just telling you that. If I could just show up and just be like, boom, hey bitches, just throw on the wig. Y'all see my other videos where, you know, y'all see my other videos where I put my makeup on, put my wig on. If it was just about looks, I mean, it's not that simple for women either, you know, then it would be like, okay, but you know, like I said, I'm not out here trying to talk to supermodels or you know, CrossFit trainers. Like it's not that serious for me. I'm not that shallow. I just want somebody that's just attractive, like that I'm attracted to and I find attractive. And that's not hard. Like y'all seen pictures of my ex. I mean, my ex was a handsome guy, but when it comes to us, for us going out, like I was the stunner in a relationship. Like even now, my ex, when I did Throwback Thursday, and y'all see pictures of my ex don't look like that now. My ex, I tell my ex all the time that like I should break up with him. I broke up with him on principle because he didn't keep up his end of the bargain. Because I still pretty much look the same from 5-6 years ago. And then my ex does not. My ex has gained a lot of weight. He don't look anything like when I met him. When I met my ex, he was 165 pounds. He wasn't great. My ex didn't look anything like that. Like I was like, I kept up my end of the bargain. What's wrong with you? I'm still fit. I still work out, even with bad leg. I bad leg and all y'all. I got a bad leg. They're talking about knee reconstruction surgery. But I told my ex, I said, I kept up my end of the bargain, but he did not. He did not, because my ex now is balding. His beard is all gray. Like he's aged more in 6 years than I ever could. Like, you know, but then black don't really crack. So, you know, I think GSP says, I think it's your intellect that separates you from other men. It's intimidating to men. Maybe so. And then I don't put up with no BS. Like I'm not. How can I say this about myself without roasting myself? I admitted that I'm a slow burn. Now, my daughter has retained a lot of my qualities. And I told her, I said, I just chuckle and laugh because I was like, it's going to be hard for you to meet somebody because my daughter is no nonsense and no BS like I am. Like mother, like daughter. We're the same. We was up there with devil horns for a reason. Because there are men who don't like me. I say it again. Men do not like me. I know some of y'all men watching my videos and y'all love me. Y'all send me messages and be like, "Oh, Kiki, you're so beautiful." But men don't like me. I just, and it's not the physical, it's my personality. My personality is very intelligent and I'm not a warm, fuzzy person. No one has ever in their life described Kiki as being warm and fuzzy. I'm very blunt, yes. And so I'm very no nonsense. So if you send me a message flirting with me, I'm just kind of like, okay, thanks. Anyway, so my personality type, if you want an attachment type, is avoidant. So if y'all know about attachment types, avoidant. I'm the quintessential avoidant because I'm skeptical anyway, and that's not the way to appeal to me. There are men online who will be like, "Oh, you're so beautiful," blah blah blah, and I'm like, "Thanks." Now, if I had a man that would step to me and be like, "So what do you really think about this Palestinian war thing?" If some dude would step to me on that tip, the legs would part like the Red Sea. The water would come gushing. My legs would part like the Red Sea. I'd soak the United States hemisphere with all of my love juices, and just not to be graphic, y'all, but if y'all knew me, like this is me. I'm dirty all the time. Like my legs would part like the Red Sea. It would open up like an ocean. I would be like real, and you would get like my late husband knew how to talk to me. You know, he knew how to be like sometimes blunt, but then my late husband would be like, "Oh, honey, but you're so brilliant." He knew how to butter me up. Like, "Oh, honey, you're so," and then getting me to laugh. That's the biggest thing. I like to laugh. Yeah, like get that, like that's my love language. Getting me to laugh is the thing. If you tell a joke and then I'll get to giggling, I like to laugh. I really do because I'm a funny person. Like I'm very sarcastic and animated. Y'all know this is just a smidgen of me in real life. In real life, I'm very like my kids like I have them cracking up. My kids are like I'm very hyperactive and I'm very energetic. So if I get somebody that would talk to me like on some real stuff, I would fall in love so quick. Like it would be amazing. Like just to get somebody, but it rarely happens. I cannot say interest in somebody talking about what are you doing? Hey, I'm just like, hey. If you say hey, I'm gonna say hey back. You say, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'll be like, nothing. Like that's the conversation. I am not in the mindset, I am not of the age to carry a fucking relationship. I hate to be blunt with y'all. I'm not carrying no relationships in 2024. I am not blowing up your phone. I am not going to pepper you with platitudes and flattery. Oh my God, you're so handsome and wonderful. Oh my God. Like, that's not me. And men, I've figured out that men like that. Men fall for that. Not just men, but women too. But I in particular, because I date men fall for that. Looking at these scammer shows and Reddit and things that I've seen, men fall for that. Oh my God, I don't. Keisha, you so beautiful. Okay. What else you got? Yeah, if it was easy, we'd all be married. And I was married, but I'm widowed. I don't have the energy to be blowing your phone up. And I found that when it comes to maybe because of online dating, I find that these days men want you to chase them. I don't want anybody to chase me, and I don't want to chase them. But I tell men, I warn them, here's the situation. I'm only going to give what you give. If you are texting me on time, if you're calling me, if you're putting in effort, then I'm going to put in effort too. We're going to meet together. We're going to put in effort together. That is the truth. And someone that thinks I'm brilliant and treats me that way, plus is a total balance to my energy. Yes, you have to match my energy. And I'm the type of person that I don't deal with wishy-washy people. I am not going to chase you. I'm not here to chase nobody. I'm not going to chase you. And these days, I would say to the people who are married in relationships, you stay in marriage because these days people want you to chase them. I have never known in a time in my life that men want you to chase them. But this is the thought process for these men these days. They want you to chase them. They want you to blow up their phone and flatter them. And I'm just like, I have never done that in my entire life. Did I ever think that was necessary to have a relationship? But these days, because so many people are talking to so many different people are on different dating apps talking to multiple women and multiple men. So it's kind of like the Hunger Games, and I'm not playing. This is not the Hunger Games. I'm not about to fight to be with nobody. Either you see something special in me or you don't. Either you like me or you don't. And again, being beautiful means nothing, and people think it do, and it doesn't. It doesn't. I've had men are like, you're the most beautiful thing on this dating app, and you're the most beautiful woman I talked to, and they couldn't keep it up. I'm like, thanks. Okay, thanks. So, we need to have real conversations. What books have you read? Then their eyes glaze over. Yes, I tell people this all the time. This is not the dick Hunger Games. It's not. It's not the sex Hunger Games. I'm not about to fight nobody. And not but the odds be ever in your favor. I'm not about to be in competition with other women and got to see which women's going to pay attention to me the most. And I don't do that with men. Like, it takes a lot for me to be interested in somebody. And when I'm interested in you, I'm genuinely interested in you. Not you and 6 other dudes that I'm talking to. I only talk to one or 2 dudes at a time. First of all, with my salty ass, it's hard for me to find anyone that I even match with. The problem is with these days, another problem is that people are hooking up and getting in relationships with people that they barely know. and that people don't know what they want. They don't know what they really want. So I tell people, in order for you to date, you really have to know what you want. And I do. And I find that men are intimidated by that because I ask questions. I ask a lot of questions. They're like, you sure ask a lot of questions? Yeah, because I know what I'm looking for. Like, I'm not just sitting here like, well, I don't really know. And I give it a try. We'll see how it happens. Like, would you see what happens? Like, I don't live life like that. I live life that I've dated enough. I've been married that I know what I want. I know what I want in a man. I know what I need a man to do and not to do. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend and just compromise. I can settle, I can compromise on certain things, but then there's certain things I cannot. And I need someone who can carry a conversation. That is the biggest thing. Lord have mercy if I could just, dear, I don't even believe in God, but dear Jesus, God, Allah, Muhammad, Buddha in heaven, earth, and below, please send me a man that can conversate more than just 2 words or 1-word sentences. Amen. Please don't. She talking about she ate the stupid hand heart. I see it in K-pop all the time, and I just cringe. I'm like, ugh. They call it what do they call it in K-pop? It's a word for it. Aegyeon. Yeah, that's what they call it. Aegyeon, I think. Aegyeon. It's where they do this and then they hand hard and they do this and then they do that. Yeah, that's it's a thing in Korean culture and in Asian culture, and not just Korean, Japanese too. But I'm not 20 years old anymore where I didn't know what I wanted, didn't take a relationship serious. I'm a grown ass woman. And so being a grown ass woman to me means that you know what you want, that you set yourself down and made a list, either in your mind. I write list of what I don't want in a relationship. What happened in my previous relationship? I am not trying to repeat the mistakes of my previous relationship. I understand what happened. I understand what I did and what I didn't do wrong. I understand what he did and what he did right and did wrong. And I'm not trying to go down that road again. I tell my ex, I am not trying to go down that road because I know what I'm worth. And it was worth a lot more than what my ex gave me. I didn't deserve to be treated like that at all. There's nothing I did. I stayed loyal. I stayed faithful. I love this person very much so. And for all the 5 years of us being together, I didn't get my end of the bargain. And at the end of the day, after 5 years of us being together, me and my ex, technically speaking, we should be living together. We should be married. We should, all the things that we've been together and all the way we know each other really, really well. I feel like I didn't get my end of the bargain. And so I'm very salty about that. And I don't want to be with somebody for years and years and years and years and years and end up breaking up. I don't have another 5 years. I don't want to be 60 on a freaking dating app, y'all. Like, I'm almost 50. My birthday's next month, people. My birthday's next month. Yeah. And speaking of birthday, I'm going to Florida next month. If you guys have any other ideas of where I should go on vacation, please let me know. Like, I thought about going to California. Yes, GSP. I looked in Anaheim. I thought about going to Anaheim, but Florida is kind of like the top of the list right now. There's a resort in Florida that I want to take my kids to for my birthday. Hawaii looks beautiful. Hawaii does look beautiful, but I have 2 kids. And so it is my birthday, but my kids have to go and they have to be entertained as well. And so, and then I have a bad leg. So I got a lot of things going on. I got a bad leg. So with me having a bad leg and all of that, I need a place where I can just let my kids just go. Like, they're at the age now where they don't need me 24 hours a day. Like, I have a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old. And so it's to the point where I can just let them kind of like explore without me going, because I'm real slow with my leg brace and my bad leg. So I just need some place where they can just go to the pool and I can just sit by the pool. They can go to the beach. I can just sit by the beach where I ain't got to get in the damn water. And so, yeah, I just need some place where they can have fun and I can relax because I want to relax, like they can have fun, but I want to relax, and then where they're not going too far. I thought about going on a cruise ship, but then the sleeping accommodations, my kids were like, Sleeping accommodations is a big thing for my vacation. Like y'all understand that every time we go on vacation, like we gotta rent out a villa or rent out a house. It gotta be an Airbnb situation because my kids are not staying. They're not sleeping in the same bed. They're not sleeping in the bed with me. They not. I can't do two beds. Not either one of my kids are like no. They gotta have their own beds. Preferably have their own rooms. Like them sleeping in the same room, they end up, you know, they end up fighting with me. Like last time we went to San Antonio during spring break, there was two beds in the room, and then there was a bed out in the living room, and they were fighting over the living room bed because they both were like, "We want our own room." Da, da, da. I was like, "Boy, boy, boy." Hey, AK! Oh my God, AK is here. The celebrity AK is here. Hey, AK, how are you? It's a wonderful Mother's Day for me. I got to take my kids to the skate park and then go eat Korean barbecue, Korean chicken and Korean barbecue because that's what they want to do. Happy Mother's Day. No, my son's like, Mom, you should go do whatever you want to do, and I was like, yeah, you know, not celebrity. Oh, okay, so not celebrity. But yeah, my birthdays and Mother's Day is just consistent me of like my kids love my birthday. They love Mother's Day because it's consistent of me taking them places and spending money on them, and it's not really anything to do with me. So yeah, good to get this. I welcome AK. I've been away. Well, I've been not kind of away because I do lives every couple of days. But look, AK, I got over 1,000 subscribers. First of all, let's say thank you all the new subscribers that may or may not see that, but I don't know how I lucked into 1,100 subscribers. Like I added 10 in just 2 weeks. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all see me doing this because my shoulder is just starting to hurt. Y'all, I feel like, and on the real, y'all, I share this with y'all. I have to go get a bone density test because I really feel like something's really wrong with me. That is more than just I didn't fall or I didn't really hurt myself with my knee. My knee is just my kids say my knee is disintegrating before our eyes. Because I'm a star. Oh my God, I'm not a star. But I feel like, y'all, some of y'all, I've had back surgery, um, major back surgery. I have screws and cages in my back, and I had pelvic surgery because I have disc degeneration. I have degeneration all in my back. And then now my knee seems like it's disintegrating into nothing. So I don't know. So I have to go get a bone density test. Because I feel like they've told me I have osteoarthritis in my knee, which is weird, which is not weird. A lot of people have it. It has nothing really to do with age. It's just, I don't know. I think I have rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease. And so I think I have that. That's my theory. But I have to get a bone density test and do all this testing next week to see. Because the way my bones are, and I'm starting to have neck issues now. Like they think that something else is wrong. Because I'm not that old, y'all. I mean, I'm an old lady. I joke and I say I'm a Juma, I'm an old lady. But I'm not that much of an old lady. But my birthday's next month, and I'll be, Lord, y'all. I mean, I'm careening towards 50, but I'm in shape. Like I work out and do all this stuff. And so I eat right, all this stuff. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything. So I don't understand why I'm having all these issues. So, but hey, AK, I appreciate you being here. I cannot wait to House of the Dragon, y'all. I'm gonna watch the whole thing like this. Because House of the Dragon get me because I get traumatized because of the dragons. Like the whole show, I don't root for the people. So when the dragons get hurt and the dragons die, and I know a lot of dragons are going to die, I've read the book, okay? So I know the ending. I know how Team Green all the way. Team Green. Let me just say it again for the people in the back. Team Green all the way. I don't care what anybody say. The dragon drama is coming. It's coming. And I watch the show and I just get so worked up over the dragons because it breaks my heart. Like when Daenerys lost her dragon, y'all, I had to turn TV on and walk off. Like when the dragon fell into the water, and girl, I had my remote. I said, "F this show." Like I wasn't even gonna watch. That's how messed up I was by with Viserys the dragon. Like when the dragon died, and then the dragon came back, and then the Ice King harnessed the dragon, and I was like, it was too much. It was trauma for me. I can't deal with, like, to me, dragons are pets, or like animals. I love the dragons. So yeah, they did him dirty. Girl, I turned on TV. I was so hurt. So House of the Dragon is coming. I will be watching that live. It comes in June. I think like right around my birthday. I may or may not be in town. But I'll make sure I take my computer with me. But also my other channel, Nomadic Kitty. If you guys don't know, I have another channel called Nomadic Kitty. I usually put links in the description and in my comments after I post this video. Nomadic Kitty. I started the channel 2 weeks ago. I have 29 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 50 because, you know, when you get 50 subscribers, you can go live. But that channel is about culture, geography. I am not on camera. I am not on camera. There is this new please subscribe, thumbs up the videos. I'm taking suggestions. I will be doing videos about fictional places like in Fallout and Westeros and stuff like that. I have to write the scripts for these channels, and it's I have to write scripts and like it's regular videos. Like I write scripts and then I go in there and put photos in it. Like it's a labor of love. Because again, I told people before, I lucked out on I didn't start this YouTube channel to be a YouTuber. I started to advertise my business, and I just kind of lucked into being monetized. And so I thank everybody who subscribed and made me monetized. I appreciate here. But then I wanted to start a channel from the ground up that was more of a labor of love, more me, my personality, more things that I'm interested in. And I'm interested in education and travel and culture. And then me and my kids during the summertime, we do travel. We do go places a lot. And so I wanted to be able to put those videos and those shorts there instead of bogging down. I have a concert to go to, a K-pop concert that I wanted to do. So all of my travels this summer will be there at Nomadic Kitty. All of my things interested in cultures and lands and languages and religions, all of that will be there because that's really the real Kiki. I don't watch a lot of reality shows. So here I talk about online dating, being an XJW, House of the Dragon and stuff like that. But really my love is of education. My love is of history. I did a video about the history of protests in universities. Have you tried Kendra G dating app? I don't know who Kendra G even is. Who is Kendra G? I don't know who that is. She has a dating app. I'll try it. There's new dating apps coming up every week, y'all. The scammers are loving this. AI is fixing to change everything about scamming and dating. So this is the quiet before the storm. Y'all enjoy it while y'all can, because there's going to be fake videos, fake people, fake everything. I mean, I am taking an AI course this summer. I've dabbled a little bit in AI, but I'm taking an AI course this summer. She's on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I don't know who. I cannot get on Facebook dating. For some reason, my account is blocked. I can't get on Facebook dating doesn't pull up for me. I'm not on Instagram. I have to check it out. Kendra G. I don't know. I have to check it out on YouTube then. Because I don't do social media. I just watch YouTube on my TV. Like I watch a lot of news, a lot of stuff. Like I said, I have to check it out because dating app is one thing that I do. Or she hosts live shows. We'll see. Y'all know how I feel about these dating experts. Y'all know how I feel about these people. They're trying to bring the robot apocalypse. Girl, they trying to bring Terminator up in here. I said, are we really heading to Skynet? Because I feel like Skynet's going to be here. And if Skynet's going to, it's going to be named something else. It ain't going to be Skynet. It's going to be something else. It's going to realize that humans are the problem. And either we're going to be Terminator or we're going to be the Matrix. Either one of them. Like they're going to use us for batteries. They're going to realize that, you know what, humans, y'all are tearing up the planet. You know what? You are the problem. So you need to be exterminated. Like it's careening towards that way, unfortunately. But I embrace AI. I love tech. Y'all know I love technology. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm going to do a whole video about this. I'm writing a book. Like I'm writing does anyone of y'all know what Pocket PM is? Here's a fun fact. Cyberdyne actually exists and they specialize in robotics. I didn't know that. Oh my Lord, I didn't know that. Yeah, the company, yeah, I love Terminator. Y'all, if y'all know, I love Terminator, I love The Matrix, and I love Aliens. And the Alien franchise, and I love me and my son were talking about it the other day. What is it? The movie. Oh my God, how can I forget this? Blade Runner. My son didn't know what Blade Runner was. And I was like, Blade Runner, anything with robots is my jam. I love Blade Runner. I love Aliens. I love Raised by Wolves that was on 2 seasons. I love anything that involves like AI and robots and humans because I think AI and robots is the future of dating. I think that's the future of sexuality and the future of dating. Once robots catches up with I think that it will revolutionize how we deal with relationships and people, because I think that people are going to be choosing to if we can get robotics up there and we team with AI, we will get to a point where we will can pick and choose our partners, and that's all I've ever wanted. I don't want. I think human beings are overrated. The idea that I can pick a man, what he looks like, what he acts like, and it could be like a real person. I said, what a glorious day to be alive when that happens. It won't happen in my lifetime, unfortunately, but I think in the future that's where it's heading. You have apps now like Replica, that I have Replica on my phone, where you can choose your partner and fall in love, and people have fallen in love through text, which I never can do because I want a real person with me. But when AI and robotics come together, I think it's gonna be helpful and hurtful all at the same time. Because I think people are gonna choose to be more with robotic partners than they would humans, because humans are too complicated. Blade Runner was a Blade Runner is the bomb. It is the blueprint with the replicants. I think that like that's where we're headed. We're headed towards, first it's going to start with sex. We're going to have sex robots first, and then it's going to head into more relationship type things. But I think that we are heading toward careening toward a technology, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but there are a lot of lonely people out here looking for connection, and I think that AI and robotics may be the way to remedy that in some way. As to whether that's healthy or not, that then we'll see with time. But I think that I'm going to do a whole video about how AI is going to change dating. It's changing it a little bit now, but once technology catches up with videos, you're not going to be able to trace whether a person is real or not. They don't have to steal people's picture off the internet anymore. They'll just be able to download AI. When I say AI, my kids are like, oh, it looks fake. I'm going to put some pictures in my community tab where I can show you where these people look like real people. They look like real people. They're not the AI that a lot of people, the plastic. No, the AI technology is so sophisticated now that they look like real people, like real people. Falling in love with a robot is the devil, in my opinion. It's not. People fall in love with people texting, and it's fake, and it's just not real. Like I said, scammers is a scammer's dream. But this way, you ain't got to pay for it. So, I mean, you can pay for it, but you're not sending money to a scammer. I hate the scammers. I hate them. I personally, like I told y'all before, my mom was a victim of a Nigerian scammer on Facebook. So I feel like if you're gonna drop 12 G's, you must get a real live person. You must get a real thing next to you. If you're gonna drop 12 G's, I'd rather have somebody drop 12 G's on a robot person than some scammer in another country that's lying to you and getting you to invest in Bitcoin and crypto and stealing your identity and your money and access to your bank account. You get an AI robot, they'll love you, take care of you. You just got to replace it maybe every couple of years. I'd rather have somebody drop 10, 12 grand on that than 10, 12, than 30. These people are spending like $500,000 on these scammers. And I'm just like, these kids are losing inheritances. They're spending their husbands and wives' insurance money. Like, it's crazy. I was like, this is nuts. I can't wait for the day where people can actually be like, I know this is fake. I know this is not real, but it looks real and it sounds real. And I ain't got to realize, I ain't got to give my private information. So let's just go with that. Because some people are happy with the fantasy. No AI robot for you. You're not the scammer either. Well, AI is on the rise. Yeah, they're getting better and better. He said no AI. Yeah, years of generational wealth. Years. This lady, her husband left her like $1 million. She spent $1 million and ended up having to sell her house on a scammer. This lady sold her house, y'all. House that her and her husband built from the ground up, and sold it because she didn't have no money. She sent it to a scammer. I'm just like, baby, with a robot, you ain't even got to do all that. You drop about 30 G's, you're good. That robot will be young and youthful. You can have the hottest, youngest looking woman or man that you ever wanted. You could have the hottest 30-year-old OnlyFans looking chick if robotics would just catch up with AI. Once that day happened, they can silicone the skin. They'll revolutionize technology and movement and skin. Once they do that, and they get the robot actually moving around, just like the stuff you see in Black Mirror. Like once we do that, or take it to the virtual reality plane. I love Black Mirror on Netflix. I love Black Mirror. So the idea that, You know, just like those sex. Oh yeah, I've seen those sex dolls. I've seen videos of sex dolls. You know, but if we can get it with virtual reality too, where you can just put a helmet on and it'd be a virtual reality thing, and you can fall in love with a virtual reality person, I'm all for that too. Anything to keep people from being scammed and keep people from being lonely. Because again, in our world, the more technology we have, the less connected we are to human beings. And sometimes that people like that's awful, but sometimes that's a good thing. Again, I think human beings are overrated. I think the experience of having a relationship with a man or a woman is overrated. I think that people, once you take the physical out of it, people won't need human beings anymore. Is if people can figure out a way to have a robot that you can have sex with, people wouldn't need human beings. I promise you. And, or, other than just to procreate. Because really, the basis for most relationships is the physical. That is sex. I mean, people like the romance and they like, but that kind of comes into part of it. But if you get somebody who are a being or a robot that you can smash on and that they look good and then they're telling everything that you want to hear and they'll never leave you, they'll never cheat on you. Who in their right mind would be like, I want a human being that's going to lie to me and cheat on me? Maybe that's a choice you got to make, but I wouldn't. It's not a choice I would make. Like here, I got this perfect person that does everything right and everything that I want it to do. And I don't have to worry about them lying to me, cheating on me, talking to other women. I don't have to, and they will always look the same. They will always be good looking. I can finally get Andrew Lincoln for real, for reals this time, for reals this time. I would get it. Would you get in a? I would get in a relationship with an AI robot in a minute. To have a man. Oh my God. To have like I would get more than one because that's the kind of pimp I am because I'll be a pimp like that. Because I would get one that looked like Austin Butler. I would get one that looked like Drake. I would get one that looked like Michael B. Jordan. There's a couple K-pop singers because I like men of all flavors. So I would get an Asian one and a white one and a black one because I like all men. And then give me a Hispanic, give me a Latin lover. And then I would have one for different day of the week. Like I would, it would be every day. I would rotate them out. I'd have a rotation of AI robots. Like one day I would show up and be like, oh, this is Jorge. And then the next day I would show up and this is Ming. This is Ming. This is everybody. Like, didn't you have a different one? Like, yeah, but I have a bunch of them. I have a bunch of them in my closet. Like, then one day I would want Austin Butler in Dune, Austin Butler. I want him bald, pasty, and mean. Like, I want to talk about he want to eliminate people and kill people. Like, I'd be like, baby, you really shouldn't do that. Oh, God, it's so handsome. Like, each one would have a different personality because I like different types of men. So I would have a flavor every other day. To me, that's heaven. To me, like, I don't need an afterlife. That is my version of heaven. Like, I need pasty Austin Butler and Dune. I need him to look like that. I need him to be slightly unhinged, slightly homicidal. Like, that's the kind of man I like sometimes. Like, I like that. Yeah, I like a whole crayon to love her. Maybe I want to get a woman. I don't know. I may get a woman. Hey, you know what? Never been with a woman before, but you know what? If they have a deal like buy 4, get 1 free, I'd be like, okay, can I buy 4 dudes and can I get a woman for free? Throw in a woman. I throw in a woman. Like, Tessa Thompson. You throw her in there. Like, can I get one to look like that? And then can I get an Asian one? And then you buy 4 and get 2 free. Give me 4 men, throw in a 2 women. I know I might get a non-binary transgender one just because I'm feeling freaky that day. Give me one that's blonde with a dick. Give me that one. Yeah, I'll try that. Because I like to try new things. Keep it up a little bit. Because I want to try new things. I like trying new things. Yeah, let me test it for 30 days. Can I bring it back if I don't like it? If I don't like the woman, can I bring her back? Oh, I can? Okay, I just want to test drive it. I just want to see what's all the hype about. Because you can't do that with human beings. I can't just get with a woman to be like, you know what, I'm just trying this, okay? Then I want to take, then you can go back. It's like what's the return policy? Do I have to make sure it's clean before I return? Do I have to wipe it down real good? Because I want to know, humans can be trashed. Yeah, I don't. Humans are trash. There's an unpredictability about being with human beings, and I think a lot of people understand that and they realize that on a level. And a lot of people don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I'm at an age in my life that I'm just like, I'm old and I want to retire and I want to have somebody that's going to take care of me as I get old. If I had an AI robot that never aged, Like as you get older, this robot would take care of you. They would never age. They would all you get parts replaced and stuff like that, but they would never age. So you don't have to worry about this person leaving, this person dying. They would be with you to ideally to the end of your days. And then ideally when you go, the robot will be passed on to your children. And then the children would have that robot as a companion or not like a physical companion, but have that person as like they keep all of your memories and all of your just a way of storing all your data, all your memories. That robot has been there with you and your kids. So that robot is not just a companion, but also a storage for memories and moments and stuff that people normally forget. And so you don't have to worry about elderly people being stuck in old folks' homes for the rest of their life. They can be at home and be taken care of and die with dignity. Because to have a caregiver at home is expensive. It's expensive. To have somebody have a caregiver. And then there's no guarantee the caregiver is going to treat you good. So it would eliminate a lot of people being in elder care. So, they would be able to die at home and be taken care of and have dignity at home. Because a lot of people, as me getting older, I don't want to die in an old folks home. I don't want to live in an old folks home. And then some people, their kids, you ain't gonna predict what your kids can do. Their kids be like, I ain't taking care of you. They got their own lives. So it's a way of having a caregiver that that your insurance is not going to pay for. I see it that way too. It's like a home care. It's a home care. I don't care if the whole world watches me, but yeah, I like the home care idea. So your elder loved one will have a companion for the rest of their days. So just in case something do happen to him, they get their care. They have a nurse come in, but they just have somebody with them 24/7, and that's wonderful. I mean, that's wonderful. That I don't like elders being stuck in old folks' home. My grandmother went to an old folks' home, and it's an ideal situation. Yeah, there's a lot of abuse that goes in old folks' home. A lot of abuse. And if you could eliminate that and just have a robot companion with them, so that person's not going to abuse them, they're not going to hurt them. They're going to call the hospital whenever they be able to monitor their vitals 24/7. Because again, all that costs money. All of that is for the rich. The rich people, they have that, but average people like us, we don't have that luxury. We just have to be able to believe that our kids are going to take care of us, or if we don't have children, then our families maybe might take care. There's no guarantee your family's even going to take care of you in these days. They may not have the money. They may not have the means and the money to even take care of you. And so the idea of having a companion is good for me, but I'm a lecherous person, so I want a sex companion. I want sex robots. They ain't got to talk. They ain't really got to talk and say they love me. And I don't really, I just, and then no diseases, and they ain't got to disappear. I don't got to worry about getting an STD. I ain't got to worry about them. I don't worry about all 5 of my robots out there being with other women. They're all just there for me. They're all to be my companions and to be there with me. And then as I die, I'll have my harem of sex robots. Mm-hmm. And that's you need long-term care insurance. Yeah, my company doesn't offer that. So if my company doesn't have long-term care insurance, they don't have that. Yeah, see, the robot idea for caretakers. See, it's not all about sex. I mean, for me it is. For me it is, y'all. But again, if people know me, y'all know. AK knows that for me, it's always about sex. It's always about that. I like the physical. I like that. I do like. I like the physical. I can't have a relationship without the physical. I cannot have a relationship without sex. I just not gonna happen. For me, it's mostly, to me, it's like 60-70% about that. And attraction. Like the idea that I can build the person the way I want them to look. Like I can have a real K-pop singer, like a one that looks like a K-pop. Like, are you kidding? Who in their right mind would be like, you know what? No, I'm just, don't give me the hot Korean guy. Yeah, I like hotness. I like a hot person. Like, and the idea I can have this person and I don't have to jump through hoops and tricks. I don't have to call you every day. I could just stick you in the closet somewhere. Hell, I'd be like, baby, just get in the closet. Like, my family's coming over, it's Thanksgiving. Just get in the closet. Just hook them up to a charger in the closet or an apparatus or stand or something. It's like, that's the kind, I think to me, that's the best kind of man, is a man that like, I don't have to put that much effort into, that I'm just like, just tell me everything I want to hear. We want to discuss. Like I want to sit here and then be like, well, let's talk about what's going on in the world. Let's have conversations about that. Let's talk about my YouTube videos. Let's have a conversation about that. And they'll converse intelligently about world events and stuff. I can't find that in a real man. So, I just, plug and play. Like, I want that in a robotic man. And then we'll go out to events and things. And I'll have this really hot Asian guy on my arm. Like, who's like, man, oh man. Like who don't want a BTS member on their fucking arm? Are you kidding me? You tell me you don't want one of them BTS dudes on your arm? Come on now. Come on, AK. Now you mean you don't want some big booty freak on your arm that's this hot, shapely young lady? I would even take that. Like I said, I would even take that. Y'all may see me with a hot ass woman on my arm with with double D's and a fat ass. I'm there for it. I'm just like, well, Keisha, we didn't know you into women. You know what? I didn't know it either. But today I am. Like, I like beauty. I like beautiful things. I like beautiful animals. I like beautiful flowers. I like beautiful homes. I like beauty. I like beauty in all of its form, whether it be male or female. And I feel like if I'm going somewhere and I want to show up somewhere and then if I'm showing with this gorgeous creature on my arm and people are like, wow, I just want to be next to beauty. I like to be next to pretty things. I like beautiful things. So to me, having an AI robot is the extension of me in love with beauty. JK said, you already know I do. Give me one on each arm. Right. I was like, you know what? They be like, how many men you got? And women, a whole bunch of them, I got one for every mood I'm in. Because sometimes, I ain't in the mood to really talk to men. I'm just like, I'm through with men. Give me the girl one. Give me the Meg Thee Stallion special. Bring her. I want to talk to. Sometimes you want to talk to a woman. Like sometimes you want to hang out with your girlfriend. Because like I said, it's not always about sex. But then you'll have like a companion, with you. Like y'all can go out. Like me and old girl, we can go out together. We can have fun. Me and the Margot Robbie bot, we can go out and have fun. I get the Margot Robbie, I get the Cardi B and the Meg Thee Stallion. We will all go out and have fun and then come home and have fun. Like, it would be just a good time and then put them back in the closet. And then go get my main, go get my Austin Butler and he would be my main. Like I'd probably marry the Austin Butler one because by the way, I'm in love with Austin Butler if you guys have not noticed. And yeah, so that's my main. Or a K-pop singer. So there's a K-pop singer named BM that I would give me the BM and give me the Austin Butler, and we can all make this a throuple. Like we can all get down. Like, and then I wouldn't have to worry about men having hangups over sexuality, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to have sex with a man. And, oh God, I've said too much. Like, they ain't gotta have that hang up, because men are like, I'm not gonna get in bed with you. There's another man there. I ain't gotta worry about none of that. I ain't gotta hear none of that. Yeah, the K-pop boys are real pretty. BM from Card. If you look up BM, he got okay. By the way, I don't work for BM, but BM from Card has a new album out called Element, and it is Afro-Cuban beats. He got this song talking about nectar. There's a song called Nectar out by BM. If you look it up on YouTube, he has a music video and he talks about, I want to taste your nectar. And we all know what that means. So, if you're into Afro beats and Afro-Cuban and Afro-Caribbean music, he has an old album. I saw Card in concert. It's one of the best concerts I've ever been to last year. I've met them in person and they're real sweet, nice people. But yes. So BM, Big Matthew from Card has an album. I think it's called Element. It's called Element. And the look it up. If you into like Afro beats, Afro-Cuban beats, R&B, if you're into R&B, you're into grown folks music, not K-pop music, but grown folks music, because K-pop is one thing, but then grown folks Korean music is something else. Because because I like grown folks. I like K-pop and it's cutesy too. But then sometimes, I gotta have that grown folks music, Niecy G, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Men are awful. CGSP, you know what I'm talking about. Men can be awful. All my male, you know what? Most of my subscribers are men. So I love y'all. Let me give y'all a hug. Let me give y'all a hug. I'll give y'all a hug. I love y'all, my male viewers. I like Nisi G. What's up? Happy Mother's Day. I done ran way over my time, but y'all know y'all get me up here to get to talking, and so y'all get me talking. But I am gonna do. It sounds like it's about to thunder and rain here, so I was gonna, like I said, I had whole plans today for Mother's Day, but I don't think that's gonna happen because it looks like it's about to rain. I'm looking at my windows like it's gonna rain, y'all. But I am about to do my video about the online dating, 5 online dating tips. You had tornadoes last week, so did we. We had a big old storm come through, especially me living in the country. It just seems like living out here in the country, like whenever a storm comes through, it always hits us the hardest. We had hail last week. Hail, hail last week. But it's nice to see everybody here. I didn't think anybody was going to be here on Mother's Day. I was like, ain't nobody going to be here. It's just going to be me sitting there talking to the camera. But I see that you guys are here. I'll keep y'all updated on my knee. Again, my knee, like people stop me and they're like, is it your hip or your knee? Because I walk with a noticeable gait. Like I have to keep my legs straight and wear a knee brace. Hail to the hey Nisi G. Yeah, the hail. I thought I had to run outside. Like y'all, because I live in I had to run outside and put a tarp over my car because I can only fit one of my cars in the garage. So I had to run outside. It was like and throw a tarp over it. And like I have a hail tarp to keep it from make sure y'all subscribe. And again, like I say, I'm in on this note. India is still dry. Yeah, I heard that Afghanistan and India and Brazil, they had like storms and flooding and all kinds of stuff. I got an OG pimp walk. I know. I was like, a pimp called slick back. A pimp called slick back. A pimp. That's how I feel now. Like I walk with a gangster lean now. Like all I need is a cane. I should get a cane and be like, yo, where my money, ho? Where my money at, woman? Where my money at? Where my money? Where my money at? Because I do like the way I walk is stiff leg. Like my leg has to, like I walk like this and then one leg is like this. And I'm laughing, but it's not funny. But I'm not in pain. It's just there's a weakness and an instability. So I'm supposed to go to the gym today because I have to go physical therapy 3 times. A pimp called Kiki. I wish, girl. But I have to go. I have to do specific squats and I have to get on a bicycle to build my muscles up for my knees so it can take weight off my knee. But my knee was swollen and they had to drain fluid from it. And have them to go to work so you don't have to just collect the checks. Yeah, I have a clone of me. And then like, girl, you go log in. I'm finna go live my best life. People are scared of that. Because like, you don't know if it's a robot or if it's a real person. They could go into work and be like, yeah, I'm real. And then they won't be real. Maybe they have a test for that to test. But anyway, my knee it's like my leg is kind of crooked. Like it's a weird thing. But everybody, y'all have a good day. Hope you guys are having a good Mother's Day. Again, I was supposed to go work out today. So I'm trying to pull my sock down anyway, because it's starting to get painful. But yeah, I was supposed to go work out today because I got to work out my knee. But I don't know. It's starting to rain. So I don't know, y'all. But anyway, y'all subscribe to Nomadic Kitty. Like I said, I'll put links. That's my new channel of love where again, I'm not on camera. Repeat, I am not on camera. I'm writing scripts. My next video, speaking of K-pop, will be about K-pop and the cultural history of K-pop, and then also BTS. I'll be talking about BTS. Bed exercises. I know I'll be in bed. Like I have to do squats. I have to do leg lifts. I have to do stretches. I have to get on a bicycle and do bicycle. I do bicycle for like 30 minutes to try to, I mean, it's slowly but surely getting better. But again, I'm going on vacation next month. So I don't want to be sitting here with a leg brace on, although swimming is good, but I'm not a swimmer. I don't like to swim. I don't like to get wet. I'm allergic to chlorine, y'all. Like low key, it makes me break out. So I try to avoid chlorine water. I like fresh water. I like beaches, but I just that chlorine water. But where we're going, it's like a lazy river and a pool. And so my kids are going to have fun again. They're going to have fun. I mean, I have fun too because I just get to sit around, and we're going to be gone longer. Last time we went in spring break, we were gone from Friday through Sunday. This time I'm trying to make sure we're gone from Friday all the way through next Friday. So I'm trying to go for a week, then I'll have more time to relax. Because when you go on a vacation, you're trying to like hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, you know. Then it sucks. It's just, I felt like when we went to San Antonio, it was a really big rush. It was just like go, 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 go. So we're gonna try to give ourselves more time this time. And then I'm gonna put all the videos on Nomadic Kitty, all my summer. I got a bunch of summer hijinks adventures, July 4th. Like I said, I got an ATEEZ concert, a K-pop concert that I got like front row tickets for, and I'm gonna try to film on Nomadic Kitty. All my summer hijinks is going to Nomadic Kitty. And like I said, if you guys have any suggestions of what you want to see, I'm trying to do videos that other people don't do. I'll probably do some Caribbean videos because y'all know, Nigerian, Ghana. That's where my ancestors are from, the Caribbean. My ancestors are from, a lot of them live in the Caribbean. Oh God, you can hear the thunder and then my cat's meowing at the door. But I'm trying to do videos that most people don't do on the channel, whether it be, dance, culture, all kinds of things that have to do with culture and history, Okay, Niecy G is under 300 pounds without the meds. All right. Yeah, all right. Well, good. I haven't taken any meds. They give me anti-inflammatories, but they don't really help because like I said, I'm not in pain. I'm not, my knee is not in pain. The only thing, I can lay here all day and I'm fine. I sleep good. My knee is not in pain. When I walk, it's not in pain. It's just an instability. But great job, Niecy. I'm happy to hear that. But when you lose the weight, because I lost so much weight. Like I went back, y'all go back and watch my videos from 5 months ago. Like I went back and watched the video of me 5 months ago. I didn't realize how much weight I had lost. Like my face was like, I mean, it was so big. Like I went back and I was going back and like checking my old videos and checking the numbers. And I went back 4 or 5 months ago and I'm like, the toning up. Yeah, toning up. I lift weights. I'm not a cardio person. I'm a weights person. So I have a weight set in my room, actually. I have kettlebells and I have a whole weight set like here in my room that I look. Yeah, my face got thin. Like, y'all, I went back and looked at my videos like 4 or 5 months ago. I was like my face just like was so puffy and big. But that's part of the Ozempic too, because Ozempic has helped me a lot. Not a lot, but a little bit. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it was the Ozempic. It was just, me exercising. But yeah, I've lost a lot of weight. Like I don't know how much I've lost, but going back and looking at my videos from 5, 6 months ago, it is shocking. I was just like, was I that big? Because my face was like, pooh. I was like, why didn't nobody tell me? I got mad. I said, why didn't GSP and Niecy and Tiffany and AK, why didn't y'all tell me? You looked into Ozempic. You got a weight set coming in, Niecy? Keep going, girl. I signed up to the rec center because our gym is about to close where I live. We have a gym here in a clubhouse and it's about to close for the next 2 weeks. And so I went to the rec center and I signed up for the rec center because it gives me more of a variety of machines. And so variety is the spice of life, especially when you're doing muscle work. You have to keep your muscles guessing. And so, Ozempic, I paid $316 a month. I wish I could jog. Thanks, GSP, bringing that up. Thank you for making me feel bad. I'm used to going out jogging. I'm trying to do everything to not have gained back the weight that I lost. I'm trying to do everything. It's hard with a bad knee, but it's doable. Like I still get out and walk. I can't jog. I can walk. I can get on a bicycle. I can't get on a Stairmaster or elliptical, but I can get on a bicycle. So I can do that. I can still lift weights. I still lift weights. I still go on weight machines. So I can lift weights and all that other stuff. I just can't jog as of now. Just playing GSP. I'm just joking, girl. My sister-in-law was like, ooh, I'm finna go out and jog. And I'm like, must be nice. Interesting. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry, girl. I said, it's okay. It's a sore spot for me because I want to be able to jog. Yeah, I've always jogged and worked out. I'm so glad, Niecy G. Just keep going. It's about consistency. I've always tried to be consistent in the workouts that I do. It was hard. Like it was hard. This workout thing and weight thing has been a labor of love for me for 15 years since before my son was born. Like I wouldn't have kids if it wasn't for me losing the weight. I couldn't have kids. They told me I couldn't have children. And so I wouldn't have children if it wasn't for me losing the weight. If it wasn't for me going on an Atkins diet, I wouldn't have kids. So I owe Robert Atkins and going on a low carb diet the reason why I had children, because I couldn't have kids. I had a miscarriage. I was big. I was a big girl. I was 340 something pounds, being 5'10", 346 pounds at my heaviest. And so I couldn't have kids. I stopped having periods. I didn't have kids. They told me I couldn't have children. I had stopped ovulating because I was so big, and I was diabetic. I had hypertension. I had anemia. I had all kinds of issues until I decided to lose 50 pounds, and then I got pregnant. So my kids wouldn't be here if I wouldn't have lost the weight, because I was such an unhealthy weight to have a baby. But kids are gorgeous. They look Hispanic. You see my son? See my son trying to be a model? You see him, his cute little self? My son's like, oh, I'm ugly. I told my son, ain't nothing ugly about you. My son is like, oh, I'm ugly. I'm like, honey. Like in his K-pop groups, I posted a picture of my son, and they were like, who's that? I said, look, you little hussies. Y'all need to go. You little girls, these little girls are like 14, 15 years old. Like, who's that? Is that your son? I was, this is my son. They're like, ooh, I'm like, don't start. Yeah, my son is cute. My son's really handsome. He is. He's very handsome. That's what I said. I had a friend online that was like, you need to send your kids pictures to a modeling agency. And that's what we did. I took pictures and I sent them to a modeling agency about 2 weeks ago. I'm just waiting to hear back. So, and my daughter is just something else, honey. Your heaviest is 404. Really? Oh my God, keep going. Yeah, like I don't know how much I weigh now, but I know it's less than what I was 6 months ago. And I ain't gonna tell nobody how much, because I gained weight, but again, my weight gain is just the fact that I had back surgery. Like when I had back surgery in 2020, I gained a bunch of weight because I couldn't go work out. Yeah, 404. Yeah, you over 300 pounds. It is I've got a couple of granddaughters. I told my son, I said, you're not dating nothing or nobody until you're 18. He already know. He's like, my mom don't allow me to date. I sure don't. I had to keep them little girls away. I'm like, little girls. The little girl, I know they did, because like my daughter, she hangs around 10-year-olds and like 10-year-old, like little girls. And they look at my son with this look of like, they're like, oh, your brother's so cute. I looked at that 10-year-old. I said, what? My daughter's like, don't say that around my mama. She get mad. I'm like, yeah. I like, okay, go on, little 10, little 11. Yeah, I'm like, girl, if you don't get your mind right. This one little girl took a picture of my son and showed her older sister. Her older sister's 18. Her older sister's like, oh, he's hot. I said, okay, just don't make me call the law on you. Don't make me have you locked up, 18-year-old. You better get. She just graduated. She's graduated from high school this year. Girl, if you don't get your mind right, I told her, I said, you better tell your older sister gone somewhere. 18 years old. Girl, you better go on. The 12th of never. My daughter is like not interested in dating nobody or nothing. She's as ornery and as surly and as salty as my ass is. So I told her, I said, I know if men don't like me, then they really not gonna like her. So I ain't got nothing to really worry about there. Cause my daughter's just like she got resting bitch face like me. Her face is like this all the time. And then anybody tell her something, she like, what does that mean? She asks her 30 questions. I said, that is my child. She questions everything. Her brother will say something. She's like, what does that mean? What does that do? What does that do? He's like, man, why you got to ask questions about everything? I said, honey, because she's my child. I said, that's my daughter. She questions everybody and everything. She's like, what's this? What's that? What's that? I said, that's right, baby. That's the only way to go. My son is much more like trusting and much more of a people person. And me and my daughter, we are not. We are introverted. We are skeptical. We're a little bit salty and sarcastic. And my son is much more happy-go-lucky, outgoing, funny, friendly. He's the diplomat, the peacemaker. He's compassionate and caring. My son is everything that I wish I could ever be in life that I wasn't as a kid. I'm compassionate and caring. I'm a very compassionate and caring person. So they, but my son is much more like aware of the world. He's very worldly, and that's because he's older than his sister. But my son is much more, he's like me at that age. He's much more worldly than his friends, and he doesn't quite understand that they haven't caught up to him yet. Like, he doesn't understand that he cares about pollution and world peace, and we'll sit here and watch things about the UN, or he'll come in here and we'll watch Al Jazeera, and he doesn't understand why his friends are not at that level yet, that he can talk and converse about world politics. And he's like, my friends, they just don't understand. I said, honey, welcome to my world at 14 years old. I was watching things about the first Gulf War on CNN when CNN was barely a thing. When I was a kid and we were watching about the first Gulf War, I was watching TV, and people looked at me like I would lost my mind. They were like, I mean, I had to deal with friends talking about New Kids on the Block and what song and what makeup they're going to wear, what dress they wear. And here I am talking about what's going on in the Middle East and the Iraq War. I told my son, this will be your whole life. I said, you will understand that you have to like dumb yourself down your entire life, unless you get around people who are intellectually at your level and who have the same interests as you do. But it's sad. I had to dumb down my life. I mean, this is the story of my life, that I truly can't be who I really want to be around people. FedEx just brought you a new grinder. Okay, well, Nisi G, I need you to come to Texas and come cook for me because I got bad leg. And see, what had happened was I bought some steaks, and look, I got some steaks. They in the fridge, right? And they already seasoned. Okay, what is barbecue? Okay, but I don't feel like cooking them, so I need somebody to come help me out. Yeah, my son pays attention to everything. He gets out. We get out. His friends are like, "Where are y'all going?" And then we want to go overseas uh during the winter, and so we're talking about going to maybe Korea or England or something. And his friends, I live in a small town. So his friends are well-meaning, but they're young. And so living in a small town, and I'm not from a small town, but a lot of these kids, they've lived in this small town forever, and we just moved here last year. And so we're kind of like from the bigger city. Well, not a big city, but a bigger city. And my kids are much more worldly. Like, they're much more exposed to different cultures. Like, we go to Chinatown and we go hang out at African stores, and we go to Japanese festivals. And so to them, like, the life that we lead is so weird and foreign to be living in. But I was like, that's just me, like, come Juneteenth, we're going to be sitting around in the drum circle, African drum circle during Juneteenth. I mean, this is just what this is. The kids are like, our mom is always taking us places, and his friends, they really don't go anywhere. Like, they don't even go to the movies. Like, we go, like, we stay on the go. But that's because I want them to be exposed to different places and different cultures, and for them to feel comfortable around. And my kids feel comfortable around any situation. They don't blink an eye. We go to, we go to Cinco de Mayo. We hang around everybody. We go to Indian. We went to an Indian thing a couple of months ago. Like, to them, it's just normal, But for other people, it's like, what? You went where? Yeah, we went. And then they were like, we went to a holistic store and we looked at crystals, and and we got a spiritual cleansing, and our kids are just, we have tarot cards and we have spiritual cleansing, and then we went to a Buddhist temple and we talked about God and spirituality. And they're looking at my kids like, who are you people? The key to tender steak is pineapple juice. Okay, girl. Like, yeah, I feel like if I don't teach my kids, somebody else will. But I tell my kids, this phase in their life in school is just a blip. Because I told my kids, I said, once y'all get through college, y'all gonna be out of here. Like, this is not gonna be your life. Where I live in Texas is not gonna be their life. There's a whole world out there for them to enjoy and share. And this little city with a population of 5,000 is just where we stay now. That we may not always live here. That I may pull us up and we may move to Canada, or we may move to Europe, or it's just, it's always a fluid situation with me, because I may get tired of America and be like, I'm out. Your mom moved to Canada during the Vietnam War? Oh my God. My company is in Canada. Our headquarters is there. So they always tell me, like, if I want to move, they're like, come on. They'll pay for the relocation. So they say anytime I want to move, that I can just, head there. if that's the option. But I don't want to live. I don't know if I want to live in Canada. I don't know. I just want to live someplace where uh, the scenery is better, and the weather's nice, and the scenery is good, and the cost of living is down. Because the cost of living is good here in Texas, but I want to go someplace where the cost of living is better, and then I can get a really really nice place to live, and make the money that I have, and just and cleaner air. This they and not the heat. God knows the heat here. I've been living in Texas for so long. The heat is stifling. The heat is horrible here. She didn't want to be part of the war. My dad got drafted while going to UCLA. And he went to Canada too. Boy, let me tell you, our hippies. Oh, I love hippies. Y'all are hippies, hippies. See, my uncle got drafted to the Vietnam War when he was 19, and he died there. Um, I should do a whole video about that, about my uncle dying in Vietnam. My uncle died in Vietnam War. He was killed by friendly fire, if you know what that means. Friendly fire means that he was killed by somebody else in his platoon, supposedly by accident. And then I could write a book about this. And then, like, I was researching stuff about my uncle because, he died before I was born, of course, and he was young. And then my grandmother used to always talk about my uncle. My uncle was a very nice looking young man. I have pictures of my uncle. And then I was, there's message boards about my uncle's name is on the Vietnam War Memorial. That happens with friendly fire. Oh yeah, yeah. But so my uncle's name is on the Vietnam War Memorial. You can go online and virtually sign it, and you can go. And so his name was in the papers whenever he died and stuff like that. And I was just going online, do find a grave, and I was mentioning, and then it puts up your email. Somebody emailed me, and it was like, you don't know me, and I don't know you, but I knew your uncle, and the way that your uncle died was not an accident. I was told that my uncle was murdered. Like, somebody told me that. So that's a whole thing. I could write a whole book. Someone told me that my uncle was murdered. So I pulled my uncle's military records and matched up with, and I pulled up the newspaper articles. I requested to get my uncle's military records. I got his military records. There were contradictions in his military records. Like, y'all, this is a whole thing, y'all. Okay. So, and then I didn't think nothing of it. I asked my mom about it, and she said it didn't shock her. So then I was on another message board a couple of years later, and then somebody else sent me another email, a different person, and was like, "Oh, your uncle was murdered." And I replied, I said, "You're the second person that's told me that." He was like, "I served with your uncle." What happened was that my uncle rose up in the ranks real high, and he was really good. He was a good marksman, good at what he do, and he was stationed with some people from the South, from Alabama. My uncle, we were from Michigan, and so he was stationed with some people that were really racist, and they didn't like that fact that my uncle got a promotion, and they bullied my uncle. They bullied the other people that were in their platoon. There wasn't many black people in their regiment. He was a sniper regiment. Wasn't many black people in there. My uncle was not one person to take a lot of mess, which is true, which is my family entirely. And so I remember as a kid hearing that my uncle would call back home and complain to my grandmother about how he was being treated in the military. And my grandmother was always salty about that. She hated the United States government with a passion, with a passion. My grandmother talked shit about the government all my life as a kid. And my grandmother would tell me that her son was not happy in the military, that he was being harassed in the military. And then when you read the account, I had other people read the account, and it made no sense. They said that my uncle was very brave. He went up on a hill, and they told him to go ahead, and then they shot my uncle in the back and killed him. So that's what I was told, that he was murdered, that they shot him in the back, and they killed my uncle. That's what I heard. And when I heard that, and I told my mother, and we sat down, I was like, I didn't even know what to say. Like, I didn't even know what to say to my mother. Like, yeah, sorry, Niecy. Oh my God. A deer hunting accident. That's terrible. That's terrible. Like, I don't hunt. I wasn't raised around any kind of like firearms or anything like that. My grandfather did. But yeah, I was told that my uncle was for sure killed by these racists who did not like him and did not like my uncle's attitude, and did not like that my uncle would buck up to them anytime they tried to bully any of the black soldiers. He would defend them. And that sounds like very much my family. It's very much my mom. And it devastated my grandmother. Like I could do a whole video. It changed like things that happened to my family after my uncle was supposedly killed in Vietnam. It changed my grandmother a lot. I've heard, my grandmother went off the deep end. That was her oldest, that was her oldest child. And so to have her oldest child being taken away from her, and he was only like 21 years of age, it tore my grandmother apart. Like like I said, I wasn't around then, but I heard it tore my grandmother mentally and emotionally, spiritually apart. And the fact that my grandmother always knew, and I wish she was alive when I found this information, but my grandmother had long passed. Well, not long passed, but she had just passed. And I wish she was alive where I could tell her what happened, what I found out and what happened. Because when I shared the story with my mother was like, she just blinked and she sat there and she's like, I knew it. She's like, I knew it. They always known. It's something that was always known. But to have two separate people email me telling me that my uncle was killed on purpose in the military, it shook me. It shook me for a while. Like, and then if you would go look up my uncle's information, you would see me commenting, saying, how much we miss you and we love you. And I never met my uncle. I just heard about him. That he was a great person. And I just like it traumatized me to learn that my uncle was trying to do what was right and trying to stand up for other people and trying to stand up against racists. And then the fact that he went up on that hill. Um, First of all, that my uncle was in a really unjust war. And then the fact that my uncle was brave enough to try to save his platoon from being ambushed. And they were telling him his orders were to run up on that hill and go toward where the enemy were at, and knowing that he got shot in the back, and then that the record said that he got shot in the back by accident, that he had went and then they thought he was one of the Viet Cong. It makes no sense. How was he shot in the back and not the front? They were saying that he went, he charged ahead, and then he was coming back and they shot him by accident. My uncle was shot in the back, not in the front. So obviously they were behind him and they knew who my uncle was. My uncle was shot in the back 3 times. It's supposedly by accident. And like I said, when I read the account, I knew it wasn't by accident. I knew that they shot him on purpose, but I just didn't know what was the circumstances, and knowing that people, they didn't like him, they didn't like my uncle. He mouthed off too much. He was one of these uppity. They used to call him an uppity N-word all the time. They would call my uncle horrible things from what I've learned about his attitude. My uncle wouldn't take no mess, and my uncle didn't know his place because my uncle my family's roots are in Mississippi. My uncle never been to the South. He's from we were from Detroit. We used to say whatever we wanted to say and do whatever we wanted to do. So I know my uncle wouldn't have stood for anybody calling anybody an N-word. I mean, that just doesn't. We don't even use that word in my family. My grandmother never let nobody use it. I don't use it around I don't use it, period. And so the idea that he was standing up for what he thought was right, and then he was promoted because of his skill, and people hated on him because of that, and he was bullied and harassed by some Southern guys. I heard that they were from Alabama, that one of the guys was from Alabama and his nickname was Bama, and he was really mean and really brutal and real racist. It just broke me, Yeah, it just broke me. It really hurt my feelings. It hurt me to my core, even to this day. And I kind of like didn't revisit it because it's hurtful. So yeah, it was hurtful, and it was hard for me to tell. Like, how am I sat there for a long time trying to figure out days how to tell my mother this, but I didn't know that she already knew. My mother was like, "Yep." My mother's like, "Oh, we always suspected." She's like, "I remember the day." She telling me to remember the day when they found out that Bobby died, and she was like, "I remember how heartbroken she was saying how my grandmother was. That it hurt her father, it hurt her mother. My mother said it echoed throughout her whole family, their entire lives, because like the oldest, her brother was like the center of her world, and she was very close with her brother. May he rest in peace, and so may they all rest in peace. Because all of my aunts and uncles are passed now, so they're all gone. And I just remember my mother just shaking her head, going, "Yeah, she's like, I believe that." She's like, "I believe that they killed him." And I showed her the records where he was shot in the back. And my mother just sat there and shook her head. And she knew the truth all these years. She's like, I suspected as much. And so I haven't really talked about that part of my life. I have a lot of interesting family stories. Like I have books written about my family. Like and I have the books. So one day I'm gonna do a video, y'all, where I'm gonna show y'all the two books that are about my family and the interesting histories behind my family. Um, it's like my kids, like they take it for granted. Now they're like, yeah, we have books written about our family. We were, I was just like, okay, just they're at school humble bragging and flexing. Like, this is a book about my daughter took the book to school and was like, this is a book about my ancestors. Because if you look up one of my ancestors is a big thing in North Carolina called the Lowry War, where these people fought these Confederates in the swamps and they were never caught. And it was a thing that went on for like 5 or 6 years where they fought Confederate soldiers in swamps in Durham, North Carolina. And it's a thing that's in their state history. It's in Wikipedia. They have books written about it, comics written about it, T-shirts called the Lowry War, Lowry War. I'm a Lowry. I'm a descendant of the Lowry clan in North Carolina. I'm a descendant of one of them, and so these are stories that have been put in the books, and it's a whole thing. And then there's the thing called the Harlem Hellfighters. One of my ancestors was a Harlem Hellfighter in World War One. He was a black soldier. He fought against the Germans in World War One, and they need to make a movie about the Harlem Hellfighters because this is one hell of a story. And one day we're gonna get that movie. But there's comics, there's books, there's all kinds of things about the Harlem Hellfighters. And my uncle was my great uncle was a Harlem Hellfighter back in World War One. And so that's a whole thing. So yeah, I got well-known people in my family. And then my family is very military. They've always served, always served. I have military in and out of my family for decades. My grandfather was in World War II. Like I said, I have ancestors that were in the Civil War. They were part of the colored units during the Civil War. Like when you talk about the movie Glory and stuff like that, one of my ancestors was in that movie, Glory, with Denzel Washington. The real life person was one of my ancestors. And so my family has always been in the military. They've been in the military since the Civil War, since the American Revolution, if you really want to go back. My ancestors fought in the American Revolution. My white ancestors, not my black ones, my white ones, fought in the American Revolution. I could join any Daughters of the American Revolution right now because one of my ancestors was British and fought against the British in the American Revolution. Like my history, I have a whole charts of my ancestors going back to the Pilgrims. Like I've done genealogy research for the past 20 years about my ancestors. My kids, they go on Ancestry and look. We've done DNA tests of all my kids. I didn't get to do one on my mother. Yes, the Daughters of the American Revolution, child. I could join if I wanted to. I was like, I can join. I've recorded genealogy that I will pass down to my children. My kids, I can trace their genealogy back and back and back all the way to like Charlemagne, and because of their ancestors. Because so I've gone back. I've done extensive research on their DNA and genealogy. Genealogy was like my passion for about a good 10 years. I still have people contact me in my family, like me and 4 of the family members. We're like the scribes of the family. Like we record all of our family history, and I even have a book. My family has a book. It has like a book, a book about just a book that has like everybody's DNA, everybody's lineage and all the family trees. And then we have to revive, and I'm going to spend money to revive the book. We're getting together and reviving the book because the book is from like the 1990s, and we're going to do another one. Like family genealogy is a big thing in my family. Family history is a big thing in my family. Like we flex all the time about our genealogy because a lot of people in my family, my family's huge. They've done a lot. Did I ever tell you I'm related to Cory Booker? I forgot to tell y'all that. I told my kids that, and they're like, who's Cory Booker? I was like, Lord have mercy. Cory Booker is related to me on my dad's side. The Bookers are my dad's side of the family. So my grandmother on my dad's side is a Booker. Her name is Katie Booker. She's related to Cory Booker and his side of the family. They're from Georgia and Tennessee. Yeah, they're from Georgia and Tennessee, and they're related. We call him Cousin Cory, even though he made me mad. But yeah, my grandmother is Katie Booker. She's like the third cousin of Cory Booker's dad. That's like his first cousin or something. I don't know. Yeah, Cory Booker. Yeah, the Bookers from Tennessee and Georgia. That's my grandmother's family. And so I've done genealogy on their side of the family. There are some really interesting things in my genealogy that I need to get a professional genealogist, because on my grandfather's side, on my mom's side, my grandfather on my mom's side, he has a grandmother that looked like she jumped the color line the other way, because her family, I don't know if the names are getting mixed up, but it looks like she was white and then all suddenly she's black. And I'm just like, and I read and researched over and over again for hours, days, months, trying to figure out what happened. How am I related to these? That is it just the name the same? Because sometimes names get mixed up with genealogy. But there's one lady that's my great 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 grandmother that it looks like the family that she came to. It keeps pointing to these white people, and I'm just like, who are they white? And I'm like, and I didn't know they were white until I saw their picture. And I'm like, well, this can't be her family. So I went back and started all over again. And every time I come to this, my great 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 grandmother's name, and every time I look at up her family, her brothers and sisters match this white family. So I don't know. I think she may have jumped the color line. I don't know. It's a mystery. It's one of the biggest mysteries in my, and I'm gonna pay one of these days to have a professional genealogist look at this and see if maybe the names are getting me. But every time I go back to the same ancestor, every time, every time her father, I was like, surely there's another one. I was like, maybe there's another Ellie. Maybe there's a different Ellie. No, every time I look at Ellie, it's the same name. Her name is not a usual last name. It's not like Jones or Johnson, because sometimes the records will get mixed up. But no, she has a usual last name. It's like McMillan or something like that. And I'm like, no, I think it's McMillan. So it's kind of simple. But then when I look up Ellie McMillan's, my great 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 grandmother, when I look up her information and I look up her brothers and sisters and her date of birth, it matches another Ellie McMillan that has a whole white brothers and sisters and aunts and all. And this Ellie McMillan like literally disappears. Like when I try to look at her on the rolls and other places, I can't find her anywhere except on the black people. So I think she jumped. I think my great 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 grandmother jumped the color line and married a black man. And I think that's the reason why she kind of disappeared from her white family, because she was on the census. And then right around the time that she would be age enough to get married, she pops up on a census with my great 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 grandfather that they're married. And then they have like a 1 year old. And I'm just like, is this the same person? Can't be the same Ellie McMillan that was white at the age of 12. And then then 4 years later, at the age of 16, she's married to an 18-year-old black man. But on hers, it says that she's mulatto, but I don't think she was mulatto. I think she lied. I think she lied and said she was mulatto. But then I went back and looked. There's no pictures of her, but there's pictures of her family. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe her dad had, I don't know. I tried to see whether her dad had kids with another woman. I couldn't see that. He's married. There's Ellie. There's her brothers. She's white. She's there. She's living her best white life. And then 4 years later, here's Ellie. She's married. She's mulatto. She has a 1 year old with a black man. I was like, this can't be. I'm like, this is not the same person. But then when I go back and look at Ellie as my grandmother, when I go back and look at her death record, she names two brothers, and that's the same name that was on the census with the white brothers. So I was like, surely this is not the same person. I look at her death records and I'm like, she lists her father and mother, and I'm like, wait, oh wait, did they jump the color line or did Ellie jump the color line? And I'm looking at them and I'm like, well, they don't really look black at all. I don't know who jumped the color line. I don't know if she stayed mulatto and married a black man, or did all of these people jump the color line and just say that they was white. I'm kind of thinking that Ellie jumped the color line and she married a black man. That's what I'm thinking. I think that she said she was mulatto, even though she, again, looking at, there's pictures of her brothers and sisters, there's Find a Grave, there's all these people look white to me. Her dad was in the Civil War. He fought on the Union side in the Civil War. There's his Civil War records. I pulled up all this. I pulled up the picture of him and his wife. There's no way these people are black. And I was like, and they said they're white, white, white. And then all suddenly she gets married and she's mulatto. If this is the same person. But I'm like, she names her dad the same first name. The brothers have the same names. I'm like, this has to be the same person. But apparently, I don't know, maybe Ellie jumped the color line. That's the only thing I can think of, that Ellie found her a black man and was like, I'm out, and just decided to be mulatto. But I'm like, but I don't have any pictures of her, so I don't. So I need somebody to really look at and see, are these the same people? Because I think, because I was like, this can't be the same people. But then I have people that I match up with DNA wise that are for sure Caucasian. They don't have no black in them nowhere. And I'm like, how are we related? And I haven't not figured it out for a lot of them. I have a lot of white people in my DNA matches that are all white. Like I look at their DNA, they have no African, there's nothing. So nobody jumped the color line on that end. And we still trying to figure out, like it's either through the Lowrys. I know I got a lot of white people on the Lowrys because the Lowrys are white. And then I got a lot of white people through this McMillan family. And this one lady I found out, the only reason I found out is because she's like, who is Ellie McMillan? And I said, my great, great, great grandmother. And she's like, but it shows that that's like my great, 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 great auntie. And I was like, well, that can't be right. Cause she says she's mulatto. And she's like, well, I don't have any black DNA. I was like, I don't know. So that's the reason why it came to my attention in the first place. So it's strange. It's very, very, very odd. It's a mystery that I need to figure out. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know who Ellie was, but Ellie might have met her, a black man, and just been like, I think it was easier for her to say that she was mulatto, that she was mixed race, than saying that she was a white. Because if she was in the South, they lived in the South, in the Mississippi, they would have found out she was a white woman married to a black man. They would have been hung and killed. So I think she just said, yeah, I'm mulatto, and just kind of, maybe she's out in the sun a lot and got a good tan and was like, yeah, we're going with it. She said, just because I like to find more about my native history, it's been so washed out and hidden. It's hard. Like my native history is not a lot. It's not a lot. However, my DNA goes back to, oh Lord, here we go. It sounds like I'm flexing, but my DNA goes back to Roanoke. Like if y'all know the story of Roanoke, Virginia, where the lost colony, the people they disappeared. The whole story about the Roanoke, Virginia colony, about the English people that the guy left and was like, I'm leaving y'all here, and then y'all settled this colony, and he came back 3 years later, and then all of them were gone. The whole colony was gone, and they think that they were either killed by the tribe, the Croatoan Indians. I have Croatoan in me, and my ancestors go back to Virginia. So I have deep ties to Virginia and North Carolina, and all my Native American ancestry goes back to Virginia, to Roanoke. So we went back and looked, and supposedly I have, Croatoan, Croatan, or however you pronounce it. The people that either kidnapped or killed the colonists in Roanoke, those are my people. My ancestries are all in that area. Because I've taken many tests. I've done 23andMe, I've done African American DNA, I've done Ancestry, of course. I've done at least 6 different DNA tests to see what kind of results, because each one was a little bit different. But when I go back and look at the Native American, it all keeps going back to Virginia and Roanoke. So either my people kidnapped them people, kidnapped those English people, or they killed them. I don't know which one. But either way, my ancestors, there's an island off of there's Roanoke, and there's a little island off of there, and my native ancestry keeps going back there. It keeps, because 23andMe has a DNA test where you can break down like what ancestor is what part of America or what part of the world. And when it comes to the Native American, it all goes back to Virginia and Roanoke. And I was like, did my ancestors have something to do with that? Did y'all kill them white folks? Like, I think they died of starvation and disease. And I think some of the Native Americans like, we're going to save you, just come with us. And then they just ended up marrying with them. But it's a mystery. It's one of the biggest historical mysteries in America about what happened to the colonists of Roanoke. So either they died off, or the Native American killed them, or they starved, or both. But people have still been digging it up. Like I read books about it. I was enthralled by it let me tell y'all something, and I'm finna get off here. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with the Roanoke colonists disappearing. Before I knew anything about my DNA, I was obsessed with Roanoke. I did a high school paper about Roanoke, about the Indians of Roanoke disappearing. I've read books. I've seen documentaries. I had no idea that my ancestors, well, I was tickled pink when I found out that my Native American ancestry goes back to Roanoke, Virginia, and the Croatan Indians. That's where I was like, maybe it's some kind of way of me being obsessed with that as a kid. maybe that was just like my DNA, my ancestors calling out to me, like, be obsessed with this. But there are a lot of things in history. I can go on and on about a lot of things in history that I was obsessed with, that I found out that, like, oh, your ancestors, that I find out my DNA, I have DNA links to certain things in history that I've loved. And so it's very strange, because I grew up with my grandmother thinking that she was Native American. And then I found out that we didn't have that much Native American. It goes way back. And so we don't have that Native American in our blood. Oh, yeah, I'm still here, unfortunately. I'm still here, girls. I'm still here. Just gabbing, just talking to y'all. But yeah, I have very small Native American ancestry. And my grandmother grew up thinking that she had a lot of Native American ancestry. And it's not. It's just English and Scottish and French. So it's just slavery. It's just slavery. That's all it was. My grandmother was real light. My grandmother was light, bright, nearly white, honey. And she would tell everybody it was Native American. I get it, Kiki, uppity ninja. Yeah, the Native American story and was a part of my story for the longest time because I believed my grandmother. But when I did a DNA test, I'm like, I only have like 2% Native American, which is rare. But let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you a little fun fact. Most African Americans in this country think that they have Native Americans. And really, out of all the African Americans who do genealogy of DNA testing, probably less than 3% actually have Native American ancestry. I'm one of I have 2%, which is not a lot, but most Black folks here think that they have Native American ancestry. They do not. They have none. They have none. All the Black people I know that have their DNA test, they were shocked to find out that they have none. You're about 20% Native. My son's 50. Yeah. Oh, you can't say you don't use it. Yeah, they have none. A lot of Black people run around because their grandparents and great-grandparents told them they have Native American. It's white. It's European. I have more European than I'll ever have Native. I have more. I have European. It's about 20% European. So yeah, I just laugh because I was like, most of us don't have Native. We don't. But I have 20% of European, which is like English, Scottish, which makes sense. Considering I know my family tree, it makes a lot of sense. And I have like 2% Native American, which goes way, 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 way back. So one of my great grandparents was Native in some way. But most of it is just African, Ghana, Nigerian. Most of my lineage is Ghana and Nigerian. I'm like half part Ghanaian, part Nigerian, a little bit of Mali and Congo, but mostly Nigerian. And somebody told me that. Somebody went up to me the other day and they were like, Are you Igbo? And I said, oh no. I said, no, Detroit. And they start laughing because they went up to me and they're like, you look like an Igbo woman. They're like, the lady came up to me, she's like, you look like my grandmother who's Igbo. She's like, I thought you were Nigerian. I said, no, ma'am. I said, my ancestry is Nigerian and Congolese, but I said, I'm not. I'm born and raised here. My family's born and raised here. And this lady swore up in God I was Igbo. She thought I was Nigerian. She's like, you look so much. She's like, your face is so much like a Nigerian. And I said, I consider that a compliment. Now, my kids, on the other hand, my kids are a hodgepodge my kids are the world's children. They have native, they have Spanish, they have everything because of just, the DNA ancestry of their dad. So they have Irish, they have Czech, they have Spanish. They have a Spanish grandfather. So it's just all bunch of everything. My maternal grandma was Irish, Native American. My grandfather was African and Blackfoot. See? Represent. You love North Carolina. I love North Carolina too. It's my favorite place. It's where part of my ancestors is from, North Carolina. They moved here. Why they moved here? I don't know. I don't know from what I heard, we were because of the Lowry War and the things that happened there, my ancestors were driven out of North Carolina. They moved to Mississippi because they were driven. My great grandmother took her daughters and her husband was supposedly murdered by Confederates. And her husband was Native American and white, and she was Black. And she was mixed. She's mulatto. And then her husband was Native American and white and a Lowry. and she apparently fled with her 2 daughters to Mississippi because they were coming for them. And so supposedly that's the reason why they left. And then my great-great-great-grandmother, Chastity Lowry, married a man, and then down to the ages and down to me. So apparently that's the reason why they fled North Carolina, out of fear that they were being hunted by Confederates and the KKK, that racists were hunting their whole entire family and they had to like scatter. You don't feel so alone. I don't know. Honey, I've done DNA testing for a long time. Like I said, my grandmother started me on the road of DNA testing because my grandmother was so light. My grandmother and my daughter actually look alike. Like have you ever did that picture app where you age yourself? You make yourself look younger or older. I made my daughter look older, like in her 60s, and she looked just like my grandmother. I almost started crying. Like I almost started crying. Yeah, my great-grand, yeah. If you look up the Lowry War, there's videos on it on YouTube. You can Google it. It's a whole thing in North Carolina, Lowry War. It's a big historical event. And from what I was told, that they were driven out of North Carolina. That's the reason why a single woman came here with her 2 daughters. A long journey that she came here for safety, that she had some relatives already in Mississippi, some cousins in Mississippi, and she left North Carolina because they had shot and killed her husband and they moved here. So I tell people, I said, my entire family have been fighting racists and Confederates our entire lives. I'm telling you. I said, it's in my DNA to be a rabble rouser. Like it's in, my grandmother used to tell me, my grandmother said it was in our DNA to fight. My grandmother said on the plantation, we were probably killed up in some of the most cantankerous sons of bitches ever, because my grandmother was a cantankerous, confrontational. My grandmother would confront somebody that she thought was racist, or they thought she was white, and they'd be like, who is this old white lady? And my grandmother would go walk up to them and be like, I'm a black woman, and get in their face and be like, I don't look like a black woman, I'm a black woman. And I would stand there and hold my grandmother's hand and look at her like this, because I admired my grandmother greatly. My grandmother was fierce, and she didn't care. She'd get in people's faces, and I learned that, to get in people's faces. And she didn't like wars, and she would tell me things, and don't fall for this, my dear, and don't do this. And I learned everything I learned from my grandmother. My grandmother made me the person who I am today. She would tell me about all kinds of awful things she's seen in Mississippi, about the Mississippi burnings, about the hangings, about the Klan, about my grandmother was in the middle of it and all that stuff. How bad it was to live there. She hated the South and hated Mississippi. She hated coming here to Texas. Oh, she hated it here. She's like, I hate the South. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. She hated living here. She fled. She's like, I fled the South for a reason. But then we moved down here because her daughter needed help. And so my aunt needed help. And so we moved down here. But she hated it. She hated the South. She talked bad about Mississippi all the time. She hated it. She talked just nothing. Oh, she's like, nothing ever good ever happened in Mississippi. She's like, those people are evil in Mississippi. She's like, Mississippi evil. She would say Mississippi evil all the time. She would read the newspaper and just go off. Evil. She's like, the South is evil. She's like, it's full of racists. It's full of uneducated people. It's terrible. And then as a kid, I was so scared because like, we're moving to Texas. I was like, but Grandma, ain't that the South? She's like, I know it is, but it's awful. She's like, it's awful. It's horrible. Hate the tide. Oh, the Masons? Oh, Lord. Child, y'all getting me on track. Don't y'all know I got a Mason ring? Don't you know my grandfather was a Mason? I got my grandfather's Mason ring in my jewelry box. My grandfather was a Mason. He was high up in it. He had the ring and everything. My grandfather was a Mason. I could tell stories about that too. Oh, child. Like they wanted me to be an Easter seal. Like my grandfather's name, like, okay, the Masons is a whole thing. Like my grandfather was a Prince Hall Mason, right? And he was high up in it. And so they were like, you want to join the Easter Seals? They like courted me when I was 18. They wanted me to join the Easter Seals and everything. Because my grandfather, they keep records. Masons keep records forever. So I told them my grandfather's name and they pulled it up and they were like, oh, he was high up. He's a Prince Hall Mason. I was like, okay. I didn't know what that meant. Then I started going off into searching about the Masons and the Knights Templar. And I fell down that rabbit hole real hard. But it's something I haven't told my kids about the Masons. But yeah, Masons, it's a whole thing. Like, they were like, well, if you ever want to join the Easter Seals and you want to join the women's division, they're like, come on. They courted me hard. They wanted me to join. And my grandmother was so adamant. My grandmother was like, no, we're not doing that. No. She's like, Masons just as bad as Jehovah's Witnesses. Oh my God. Like she would talk bad about the Masons too. She's like, your grandfather was all into that. And there's secret societies. My grandmother was not like that. She did not like the Masons. She did not like the Eastern Seals. She didn't like none of that. They have like a group for kids, like the Rainbow something something. She didn't like none of that. And my grandfather, he was all into that though, because he was in the military and he was like an engineer. He was all into that, And they would go to meetings and stuff. This she's that demonic. I don't know if it's demonic, but I'm telling you, it's. I like I said, I fell down that rabbit hole, and I wish it was just a little witchcraft. It's something. I think if you get higher up, like if you're at the low level, it's really just like a way to like meet and everything. But once you get up into the higher levels, it gets into like rituals and stuff that I'm just like, okay, y'all are dabbling in things that they don't. I don't think they really understand. A lot of the people, I think a lot of the meaning has degraded over the years. I think when it was first started, I think they really knew what was going on. But I think as time goes on, like they don't really understand like a lot of their rituals and things that they do. It's very ritualistic. And I was like, I just don't know how anybody could claim to be a hardcore Christian and be a Mason because a lot of stuff that they do, I recognize it as ritual. As somebody who's a former Wiccan, I can say that I recognize like that's ritual. That's divination. Like y'all dabbling in y'all calling for things that I don't think they really understand now. I think back then they get it, but now I'm just like y'all don't know what y'all doing. They doing stuff just because that's what they were told to do and that's their rituals. But I don't know. I haven't talked to someone high up, but I don't think they really understand what they're doing. And I was like, because rituals have meaning. I could do a whole video about the Masons and the rituals that they do, but rituals have meaning. Like even though I don't believe in God and I don't believe in witchcraft and all that stuff like I used to, but I understand that rituals have a mental capacity to it and it has a mental thing to it. And I'm skeptical about any kind of so-called outsourced power. I don't know about all that, but I think that they really believe that though. I think they do believe that. I think they believe that they are calling upon some higher power. And I don't know if it's considered a Christian God or not. I don't know. Like y'all are calling for something, but I don't think it's a Christian God. Like the things that they say, and I'm like, that's not Christian. And they're swerving down they're Christians though. But then Christianity, people in Christianity do a lot of things that I'm like, is that Christian? Because a lot of things that Christians and other religions do is very ritual. It's very spiritistic. It's very like things that are out let me put it this way, predate Christianity. A lot of things the Masons do with the stone and the measurements and the sacrament, that I'm like, that's before Christianity even got here. Like a lot of things that they're doing predate Christianity or predate Judeo-Christian religions. Predates Islam, it predates Judaism, it would what people Christianity would consider spiritistic practices, rituals, and witchcraft. Like, yes, I could see that, but they claim to be Christian though. But again, like I said, there's a lot of religions that claim to be a lot of things that I'm just like, that ain't got nothing to do with Christ or the Bible. Let's just put it, that ain't got nothing to do with the Quran or the Torah. Like y'all are speaking in languages and calling forth things that I don't think they really truly grasp what they're doing. But I've heard about some of these Mason rituals and I was dumbfounded that people thought this was Christianity. It's not Christian. It's not. And the story they tell themselves about the Haram and the stone builders and everything, none of that is historically backed up. None of that is in any religious Judeo-Christian text, and none of that is historically backed up. They made that up. They're talking about a guy named Hiram or Haram who was supposed to be the first Mason and the Temple of Solomon. Baby, they made that up. None of that has any factual base in anything, in any scriptures. Somebody made that up a long time ago. Somebody made that up to make it, I guess, seem more Christian friendly or more Judeo-Christian friendly. Because there are people who are Jews who are Masons who believe that the Temple of Solomon was built by Haram and built by this guy, and they started the cornerstones of Masons. There's things in the Kabbalah, talk about speaking to Jews and the Jewish Kabbalah, that's not Torah. The Kabbalah is not Torah. The Kabbalah is witchcraft. So they talk about, Kabbalah tests and people celebrating the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah is witchcraft. I mean, that's just, I mean, they may try to clean it up and say that it's something to do with Hebrewism and Judaism. There ain't nothing Judaism about the Kabbalah. It's just spells and stuff. Same thing about the Masons. They may try to make up some kind of weird Christian, Judeo-Christian backstory so that Muslims can be Masons and everybody can be Masons. I believe they made all that up just to link all these Abrahamic faiths together. But I believe that their history doesn't make any sense. And it's nothing in the Quran, the Bible, the Torah saying anything about Haram and the Solomon Temple and the cornerstone stone builders and all. Somebody made that up. Like I think it's all made up. That's my opinion, and really not my opinion. Scholars have studied what the Masons say and do, and none of this has any kind of historical or biblical base. So somebody made that up somewhere. Why they made this up, I get it, because they were trying to link religion to what they were doing. Christianity and Judaism and Islam to what they were doing. That's why Masons accept all faiths. They don't discriminate. They accept all faiths. But I think that it was done by design. But I think what they're doing in their rituals have nothing to do with a Christian God. I'm like, sounds like rituals to me. Sounds like you guys are worshiping another type of God, which I don't have a problem with, but I just wish that they would come out and say it with their whole chest and don't be so secretive about it. But anyway, I gotta go. I hear my kids stirring around. You threw all the crystals away. One of my friends was from a child was a Wiccan. I was a Wiccan at one time, but again, I'm not into none of that. Like none of that. No faith moves me at all. I don't believe in none of it. So I just believe in like science, and we living on this earth, and we got to do what we got to do. I may be wrong, but I hear my kids cooking, and they're like, "Mom, we're hungry." But anyway, y'all, I gotta go. Thanks everybody for being here. DCG, GSP, y'all subscribe to Nomadic Kitty, AK, Fabulous Me, who is now Fabulous Me ASMR. Oh wow. Please subscribe, like, share, subscribe. I'm sorry, and I will do another video in another couple of hours because I got to get these kids together. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Y'all have a good day. Bye. Da, da, da.